Hello, everyone. My name is John McDonald, aka Zordon, and tonight I'm bringing you another episode of Becoming Mighty and Morphin, a Power Rangers tabletop game experience, along with my fabulous crew of scrappy rangers here in Angel Grove, where everything goes wrong and the points don't matter, except for when they do matter. Before we do introductions, just a bit of GM business. I just want to let you know a couple things that I found while rereading the book for people that are thinking of playing this. So what's really interesting is I have struggled with how to allocate health because I couldn't figure out how to give people health in this game because it's not really mentioned in the book. And upon reread, I realized that there is supposed to be a health condition along with the conditioning skill. And conditioning and initiative are the two skills that only go up to the D12, but you can only take levels in and no specializations. But because I made the GM decision, because I didn't see it, because it was so much information, to just give health out at every odd level. So that was my bad as the GM. So moving forward in other versions of the game I'll play, I'll try to remember that. But if people don't put points in conditioning, then they don't get more health, and that seems unfair to me. So no system is perfect, and of course, being a GM, it's lots of information to remember. But just for people that like characters to have conditioning or extra toughness, that is supposed to be part of conditioning, even though we're not doing that here. And so that's my piece as the GM tonight. As we introduce characters, I'm going to tell you a bit about their influences, and then we're going to get into the game. We're going to start with Quentin Turner. Quentin Turner's influences include artisan. And artisan means you get an edge when your art comes into play, whatever that art is. But when you're engaged in that art, you can get an edge or a snag, depending upon if someone is getting in your way, keeping you from doing your art. So you get an edge when your art comes into play, whatever that art is. I cannot remember what you declared. You also have small town influence, which means once a session, you can get guidance from the GM if you have to make a choice, which may come in handy tonight. Who knows? You are also waiting to update your daggers. You have one episode left. At the beginning of next episode, you will have daggers with lightning that stun people, which is super cool. Mm-hmm. How are you doing tonight, Quentin?
I'm doing pretty good.
You're going to be getting lightning, your lightning claws, for lack of better terminology. You'll get those at the beginning of the next game because you upgraded. But while Alpha is building them, you can't upgrade anything else. We're going to move to the left as I see it to Jane Russell. Hello, Jane Russell.
Hello.
All right. So you don't have any upgrades currently. You can choose to upgrade tonight. Your influences include Community Helper, which gives you an edge in non-combat when your influence comes into play, and you chose EMT, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I chose medicine.
The other side of Community Helper is you get a snag. It's not like a snag you roll, but you want to aid others before yourself, even at cost to yourself. You also chose the Nomad influence, and Nomad gives you an edge on what the D&D people call judge intentions. Basically, you'll be able to roll to see if someone is telling you the truth. It's just an insight on people. So it doesn't help on just blanket insight. But if you're doing an alertness to see if someone's trying to kidnap you and put you in a cage, a la Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, you'll have a really good insight as to whether or not that's happening. How are things going for you, Jane/Isabeth?
Pretty good. Like Clockwork has been getting quite interesting every Sunday, and that's been a lot of fun. And yeah, just been trying to keep busy.
And you're playing a lot of sexy sword lesbians from what I'm hearing. So
I've only played the one, but I am looking forward other opportunities because it was a blast.
Thirsty Sword Lesbians is another one of those non-D&D RPGs, but it still has that high fantasy element to it, which is really cool. And you can always watch the old Streamathon videos, which are up on YouTube if you want to find out about Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which Isabeth's called Sexy Sword Lesbians. All right.
Can I try to roll for my upgrade, or do I do that later?
So what would you like to upgrade?
My armor?
Your armor. You are currently a medium armor, correct?
Yes.
So you want to go to a heavy armor, and you have a choice to make. When you're ready to roll for heavy armor, if that's something allowed for your character, you get to choose either continue down the path of toughness and get heavy tough armor, or choose heavy silent armor, which will give you infiltration bonuses. Which roll do you want to make?
I want to do the toughness.
All right, so you need to hit 15 or higher, and I want you to roll me your best strength check.
Okay, I'm going to roll might.
Roll that strength
And I got a
check.
15.
You got a 15, and now you need to roll a d20, and we'll see how long it takes for Alpha to make it now. You do want a low roll on this.
Oh, I got a
17. So 17 means it'll take 2 weeks and some change. So in 2 episodes, you will have heavy armor. Okay, but there you go. You just have to write that down so you remember when that's coming, because I will not. Let's move on to Eddy Thatch. Hello, Eddy. Your influence currently that you have is called Caretaker, and it gives you an edge on medicine checks or on group skill checks, which we haven't done a lot of. It also gives you an extra edge when you lend assistance to someone with one of your expertise. The downside of being a caretaker is that, much like with the community helper role, the caretaker wants to ensure the safety of others before engaging in combat. There's not a role for it, it's just kind of flavor for your character. And I believe you also, after you introduce yourself, you are trying to roll to upgrade your weapon, correct?
That I am. Would you making me do that roll as part of the intro here, or is that going to occur later?
Yeah, we're going to do the roll as part of the intro first. Feel free to introduce yourself however you'd like to.
Hello, everyone. My name is Patrick Bryant. I go by Jester in the internet spaces and in real life, if you choose to call me that. I play the teenager with attitude that I represent is Eddy Thatch. I am the Black Ranger.
Okay, and so because you're trying to influence your power weapon, I want you to roll whatever you'd roll for your power weapon, essentially. Like you're trying to swing it at someone, and because this is your first upgrade, you just need to get a 10 or higher, 5. So
I rolled super low.
5. I mean, you do have story points. You could technically.
Yeah, I'm totally using one of those. I want a slightly shinier axe.
Yeah. Everyone, don't forget to take your story point for being at the beginning of the session. And I'm pulling for you for the might roll. 10 or higher is what you have to get. A 4.
So the first time I rolled a 2, second time I rolled a 3 on the die, but with the modifiers, it still puts it very low.
It was not meant to be, but you can try again at the beginning of the next session, assuming you survive this one. All right, so let's move down to Cecily. Hello, Cecily.
Hello.
Hello. So you have a poison-tipped blade that you are receiving this episode, I believe. Your influences.
Yes, I am.
Your influences include Artisan, which gives you an edge on art checks, just like Quentin has. But if you're engaged in them, you could have an edge or a snag, depending upon how much you are engaged. You also have the Not From Around Here influence, which gives you an edge on skills that your upbringing would give you, like if we were doing a farming episode, or it's something with doing Red Bear stuff. But you also do get a snag for social things that you just don't have a natural understanding for. So if someone was like trying to mean girl you at school, I'd potentially give you a snag for that. But that would be based on the scenario. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I just got back from running Gala of Everlasting Change, which is basically Queer Fae Prom. And we're going to be having Chapter 2 in 2023, the first day of autumn. So if you're interested in attending a LARP here in Illinois that's Queer Fae Prom, check out my Instagram at Lottie West, and details will be posted as soon as we get them. But it was a great time, and I love writing games, so that was super cool for me.
Yeah, that's great. And you get your poison blade, so I don't think, I think it comes at the end of the episode, so I don't think you get to upgrade anything tonight.
That tracks in my brain.
Yes. So next episode, you'll be able to upgrade something, but while Alpha is building the poison tip on the edge of her unicorn blade, sadly, you do not get to upgrade anything tonight, but you're here. and we're going to have a fun time. And then finally...
Yes, we are.
Yes. And then finally, Brick, I would love to do introductions with you if you're okay with that.
Hi, yeah, I'm here. I also have an artisan influence. I'm sure you're about to get to that. But my favorite thing about it is that when you gave it to me, you told me to write down baseball equals distracted. So that's all I have written down for artisan, which I think is pretty funny.
So here's it is. It doesn't say the artisan has to be a traditional art. It does not make that clarification. And for me, I think that athletics does come with its own form of artistry. And so, like, you get an edge to baseball things, but if you're in the middle of a game, you could also be distracted. Like, if the Rangers need you and you're, like, in midfield, you know, then you're going to have a snag to try to gracefully get off the field kind of thing.
Right. I just liked the phrase baseball equals distracted.
It's true, but it's also a big part of your life as a Pink Ranger. So
it is.
Yeah. You also have small town roots. So once a session, if you wanted guidance or wisdom in Deadpool style, you could call upon your small town roots influence and ask the GM for some wisdom.
I think I do that enough just based on the fact that I've never played a TTRPG before. So I think I've been doing that unknowingly this entire time. So I will continue to do so because it's a part of me, I guess. So yeah, there we go.
Which is great because Rem Alternus here, the alternate archives are really about experiencing systems that aren't really the big three. And so Essence 20 is different for some people, and especially for someone who's never really played a tabletop game before, it's always good to kind of be able to ask questions. And I'm totally all for that. Anything you have going on in your life that you want to talk about as yourself before you officially become Brick for the...
Well, Cecily and I just got back from California where we partook in Power Morphicon, which is a Power Rangers convention that happens every 2 years, and we haven't had one since 2018 because of COVID. So we got to do that again, and we got to meet a lot of the Rangers, and it was really fun. I had a really great time. So
we also tagged the wall with our Power Rangers characters in a...
Yeah, they had like a graffiti wall, or like a wall where you could like sign and stuff, and we like put down our little character names, and we drew like our little mascots, and so it was kind of cute.
Did you have Brickfest while you were Brick?
Oh, I had a lot of Brickfest while we were there. There was Brickfest was a...
They even have a Power Brickfest.
Oh, yeah. So the convention, I mean, I don't want to harp on this too long, but the convention has this thing called a Power Breakfast, where basically you sit in like a hotel, dining room thing, conference room, and you sit at tables and you eat breakfast, and the actors from the show come and sit down with you and have breakfast with you and talk with you, and that's always really fun. So it was really awesome.
And your armor upgrade will finish next episode, by the way. So you can't roll for anything while Alpha is finishing your armor upgrade, but you'll have medium armor at that point, and at the point where you get to wanting heavy armor, you'll have to make the same choice as Jane between if you want silent armor or if you want to continue going into that. And that will be up to you. Much like the rest of tonight's adventure is up to you either individually or as a group, depending upon the choices you make.
Cool. I have one quick housekeeping question. We were tasked in choosing a sense, or what is the actual word for those? Or do we tell you that now, or should we tell you that, or is that going to come into play later?
Depending upon what general perk you have chosen. Do you know what general perk you were choosing?
I was thinking Athlete's Grace.
All right. Athlete's Grace will increase your movement. But Athlete's Grace is definitely something that is helpful to you.
I also liked the sound of Grid Champion, both in the sense that it has the word champion in it, and also grid as in Morphin grid.
Yes.
So,
let me get to the page to see where that is, because I have to find them. Okay, this will be a good teaching moment. Page 93 for anyone that has the physical book, which I love, but there's so many pages. And so the first one is Athlete's Grace. This will give you ground movement increase. And the big thing about this is if you are prone, it lets you get back up quicker. Climbing also will not, you'll also be quicker to climb. Grid Champion, you have to have previously vanquished a towering enemy, which you have not done yet. You cannot yet take grid champion.
Okay, great. I mean, I like the
Dreams
idea.
towards.
Yeah, goals.
Hashtag goals.
Yeah, I think Athlete's Grace is good, especially because I think Brick falls down a lot. So I think that's a good one.
Yeah. You'll be better at climbing. You only fell down like twice in the episode with the pig demon. So it's a small. But you'll be.
I think he falls down about as
better.
much as Quentin does. So.
Yeah. So
Quentin's not an athlete. So, all right.
So wherever you want to put Athlete's Grace as your general perk, which will give you a movement increase, you'll be able to climb better, and you'll be able to quickly get out of prone. Put that in your character sheet, wherever you'd like to put it, so that you remember it's there.
And that doesn't influence any of my rolls.
Not currently. No.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Always happy to help. Tonight, we are going to start with Jane. And Jane, you have a friend. Actually, all of you know the person that Jane is meeting today. Jane, you know that Angel Grove High School doesn't actually fully close during the summer. They do summer school classes, but there are two portions of the campus that stay kind of open and active, and one of them is Angel Grove Art Studio. And today you are walking along the empty hallway, moving into the art studio because you borrowed a few things from your friend Alex. Alex Magnus is standing there and they look very busy. Several things are being moved around on some hand trucks, and Alex kind of looks at you and goes, "Oh, hi Jane. You're back already."
Yeah, I wanted to return some of the stuff that I borrowed. I didn't want to hold it for too long in case you needed it.
Well, of course, no, it's school supplies. I'm just letting you borrow them because they don't keep very good track of the art supplies here. This is an unofficial job. I don't know why they would put a student in charge of the art library, but here you go. Did your friends all like the pictures that you drew for them? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I haven't given it to them yet. I'm hoping to give it to them later today.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful. It's wonderfully exciting. Yes. Did you decide if you were doing oil or acrylic for those? I can't remember.
I decided to go with acrylic.
Okay. Very classic. Easier to use than oil, as I've found out. That's why I don't use oil very much. Actually, I'm glad you're here. I know as a fellow lover of arts, you'll love to know about this. And Magnus pulls out a set of postcards that look like collectible trading cards, and they have these shadowy male pin-up figures on them. And he goes, I've been given an art show license over at the Promenade Gallery. Actually, a whole bunch of my stuff is getting moved there today. And I know that you love art, so I'd love for you to be able to attend, or if any of your friends can. It's opening tonight. It's all very happening. It's all very much madness because it's like a last-minute thing. But
Congratulations, it's amazing.
My first art show. It's very exciting. It's terrifying. I'm terrified.
Oh, you're going to be wonderful. It's going to go great. I would love to go.
Oh, I appreciate that. I hope people like it. I know that queer art isn't for everyone, but I'm very excited. And the Promenade Gallery is really high. It's a really high art, and I could make a lot of money out of it. I'm very excited.
I'm so excited for you. Would it be okay if I brought some friends?
Of course, yes. There will be food. There'll be snacks. Everyone that has admission will need to bring a quarter. So make sure all of your friends have a quarter because the admission fee is a little fun and wacky. But I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just very excited.
Yeah, of course. Oh, I'm so excited about this. Congratulations again. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you.
The postcards that Alex hands you before they have to excuse themselves because they get phone call are actually really cool. They're really nice cardstock. They kind of look like baseball cards, but if like the hunks were all kind of like shadowy and in the 1940s pinup style, almost like a tattoo graffiti art almost. And so now, Jane, you have both the art to give to your friends, but also this opportunity to go to an art gallery and see if anybody wants to go with you.
I want one of those cards in your life. It sounds really awesome.
Yeah.
I just kind of put away the art supplies that I brought with me. That way Alex doesn't have to do it because he apparently looks incredibly busy. And I'm just going to kind of wave goodbye to him as I head out.
There's like a half wave motion that he does. Looks like he's got a karate chopping there. But yes, they're currently moving something enshrouded in a big canvas onto kind of this like small loading dock. Quentin or Cecily were there. They remember the loading dock because it was one of the ones they almost got smushed against when they were trying to get into the school.
Yeah, we are intimately familiar with that
memory. But yeah, so Jane, however you'd like to contact your fellow Rangers or anyone that you want to take with you, you have the power to do so.
Okay. I'm going to send a group text asking if I'm going to ask first if everybody is available to get together this afternoon because I have something for them and I want to give it to everybody at the same time. And also I got invited to the promenade. Is that correct?
The Promenade Gallery.
Promenade Gallery. Alex is having a show and he invited us to go.
Everyone, by the way, will know who Alex is. Alex is really well known at school for their art. Brick, Alex did the revamp of the mural in the ball stadium that looks really cool. Cecily, he knows a lot about oil-based paint. So for Ren Fair and Leathercraft, he's actually fairly knowledgeable. Maybe not as much as you, but he definitely knows enough to get by. Basically, everyone kind of tangentially has heard of Alex at the school, even if you don't know them personally. But art is kind of what they do. Like they have a pretty known path they're on. So when you hear the name Alex, there's really only one Alex at the school that would be doing like a thing.
It's entirely possible that Eddy may have purchased a few of his things.
It's very possible. If they are canvas, so they didn't come in like a rolled up thing. Like you do have some of those rolled up posters in the corners of your room, but his stuff is on a like traditional canvas when he sells it at art shows. So you actually have to like have it somewhere either hung up. It does not roll.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm thinking Quentin's probably at least a little familiar with it from some of the times he's been a part of drama club.
Also,
seeing some of the art there.
Also, Jane, do you mention there'll be free snacks? Because I feel like Quentin will also enjoy the free
Yes.
Yes. He is very food motivated.
Free punch and pie.
No pie at the art gallery. They're not a pie group, but I appreciate the reference. Is anyone not able to meet or not feeling up to going to the art gallery? Brick, do you have a ton of practice or anything like that, or is this your day off?
I am going to text back that I want to come, but I will probably be late as I do have some training that I have to do and baseball practice because it's starting to get into baseball season again. So we're starting to have to pick back into that. So, but as soon as I'm done with practice, I will try and be there because I do really want to go.
I want you to give me an alertness roll, Brick.
While he's rolling that, Jane will text back and just say, well, why don't we all meet at the gallery? And then if you guys want to come back to my house, we can have a cookout afterwards.
Sounds great.
So
Quentin is all for this.
With your 16 alertness roll, after, so we're going to do this kind of time skip back and forth so I can introduce the promenade. But with your 16 alertness roll, Brick, as you walk, it was a clear day earlier, but the sky got really cloudy as the sun went down, which is a little weird. And you feel humidity that wasn't there earlier in the day.
And I knew I shouldn't have worn a sweater.
Yeah, you're going to have a snag on something for wearing that sweater because the humidity is not going to get any less. You look nice in a sweater, so it doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah, I heard girls like cardigans. So.
Cecily, are you available to go to the art gallery opening /
Oh, yes. I love art. And you're going to probably get Cecily in like full Cecily form, which is like a long skirt and like a shirt with like flowy sleeves. And she just kind of looks like she might be going to a Fleetwood Mac concert.
Alex actually adores that about you. So if Alex knew you're coming, they would actually expect you in full Cecily fare.
Perfect.
Yes. Okay, so anything else before I introduce the Promenade Gallery? Anything anybody wants to ask or say about? Actually, before you leave, Quentin, because you're going to meet up there, the yellow cat that lives in your yard that refuses to come inside, but is not like an angry cat. They just kind of like watch you from the fence. You have been feeding and giving them like little saucers of water and things like that, correct?
Right.
Yeah, they have, when you come outside, they are playing with a piece of paper. It's a little glossy, and they're not noticing you, but they are slightly distracted with their piece of paper.
I'm going to try to get closer and see if I can see what this piece of paper is.
You get close. The cat is very friendly with you. The cat tolerates the other people in your house, but it seems like the cat has a special rapport with you for whatever reason. And they have a poster, a part of a poster for band sign up for a band that is either a ska or like a metal band called Dung Beetle. So it's up to you what you want to do with that information, but it's a band sign-ups for a band called Dung Beetle. But it's like 16-year-olds looking for friends kind of thing. So if you don't want to be in a death metal band, you can probably convince them to do some other kind of music if that interests you. But they are stuck on the name Dung Beetle. So whatever it is, you're going to the band Dung Beetle if you pursue this.
I'm going to kind of fold up that piece of paper and pocket it and pet the cat.
The cat
Like,
meows
thank you.
at you. The cat tilts her head and meows back, and you're pretty sure that meow was a you're welcome in cat.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I'll try to slate that into my schedule for going and trying out for that after the art gallery and cookout and everything.
There is an email you can reach out to, or if you are on Grove, the team social media app for the Angel Grove team set, they delete their Grove ID, so you can always hit them up on Grove, the social media app for Angel Grove community.
I'll probably hit them up on the social media.
If you're looking at Groves on your way, Groves is not really a buzz with the art world. There are a couple people posting about getting in, and like there's like a weird thing you have to do to get in. So they're making sure people have quarters, because you need a quarter for this. But more to the point, the Promenade Gallery is in the part of town where microbreweries are, fancy ice cream shops where you get like lavender marshmallow ice cream. And there's lots of incandescent lighting. There's like a place where you can get a burger for $20, but it doesn't come with fries. And it's kind of like this neighborhood that never closes. There's always a warm glow. It's a couple blocks from Angel Grove Prep, which is the really fancy high school. The gallery itself on the promenade is in a 2-story converted brick row house. The outside has a faded advertisement for an old general store, but that was basically left to give the place some street cred. Because normally it's a stark white, super snooty, upper class, don't breathe in here unless you have $1 million gallery. But tonight it's kind of wacky and colorful. And are you all arriving together, or are you like waiting outside to go in?
Yeah, Quentin would wait outside if he doesn't see anybody when he arrives.
Yeah,
Cecily's going to wait until she sees somebody she knows.
Same. And Jane forgot to say something about the quarters, but she grabbed some out of her grandmother's. Her grandmother has like one of those jugs that she just like throws change in. So she just grabbed a bunch of quarters out of that for everybody.
Glad that everyone's waiting outside, because Eddy would feel a little awkward if he doesn't see someone before he walks in.
Is everybody waiting outside?
Quentin, there is sparkling cider, and you especially see adorable cubes of cheese. For your snacking needs. There's more snacks, but you kind of can't see them right away. But there's definitely premium snacks here. So as everyone arrived, you were greeted by the sight of old school sticker machines that are like in front of grocery stores, or maybe they used to be at Angel Grove Junior High or high school. And when you put a quarter in, you actually get an admission ticket in the shape of, it's like a sticker. Like it comes in one of those cardboard wallets, and your admission fee of 25 cents also gets you like this collectible sticker thing that looks like the beefcake shadow pinup from the collectible postcard that you got earlier, Jane. So everyone gets a special little gift as they enter.
That's really cool.
Yay.
Nice.
You are all now at this art show together. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Well, thank you for the invite.
I'm excited to take a look around.
Yeah.
Alex was really nervous, but he was really excited.
I've heard a lot about what he does, but I've not really had a chance to see it.
Everyone give me an alertness roll while you're talking. Everyone give me an alertness roll, or some other roll using your eyes, depending upon what you'd like to.
Jane got a 9.
Eddy Thatch got a total of 14 and wonders where that was during the intro.
Quentin also got a 9. Looks like Cecily got
I got an 8.
Yeah.
Cecily got an 8. If you're speaking, you are muted.
Am I here? I thought I was coming late because of Buzzball.
You can come in a little late. I will not have you do an alertness roll, and then I'll tell you what you see as you come in.
Okay, I just didn't know if my alertness roll from before was the one you were giving them now.
No, this is a new alertness roll.
Oh,
21.
Brick is alert.
This is
Brick, you are still alert.
You
I will
just
tell
had a
you
Red
why
Bull.
you're alert as you come inside. So Cecily, you get hyper fixated. There is a shadowed tattoo Viking dude looking essentially at what looks like a graffiti version of themselves. Like some dude came in like full Viking gear this event. And it's actually Alex's best friend, Judd, but Judd does not go to high school with all of you. He graduated early, and he actually takes classes at the Angel Grove Art Institute. And so Judd doesn't know any of you, but if anybody wants to be introduced to the Viking in the building, they can totally be introduced.
I think Cecily will definitely want to talk to him.
So, Cecily, what you get out of the conversation with Judd is that he actually does some minor apothecary work. And Judd actually asked you if you've heard of this guy that runs a tea shop in Restaurant Row, because he's been meaning to visit. And every time he tries to, he just can't seem to do it. Yeah.
I'm going to be like, well, I do know him. He is quite a character.
Judd kind of looks at himself and then looks up and down around the room and goes, well, it is the night for character.
Cecily's going to go, you're here.
Yeah, so Judd is interested in meeting Latour, but so Judd knows apothecary stuff, essentially. Like, he's got like this kind of Romeo and Juliet apothecary thing going on, along with being a Viking. And so that's a friend that you've made that you can call upon for any alternative medicine things that you need, or if you want to contact. This isn't Shadowrun, so you can't add contacts, but Judd is just someone that you vibe with fairly well. Also, he does tell you he was the influence for the portrait on the wall, but it's shadowy, so you don't actually see a face. Like, these are just not outlines, but they're like silhouette versions. Quentin and Jane, you're 9. As you're trying to enjoy the evening, like, people will not stop talking next to you. So it's very hard for you to concentrate. Like, either it's where you've stationed yourself, or like they're just following you around the room, but you cannot get a moment of peace. I mean, the sparkling cider's nice. Jane, you're trying so hard to enjoy this art, and it's like you're just getting more and more frustrated because you want to be nice, but it's like people will just not take the hint.
All people will walk in front of you and not realize it. Yeah.
There is a really cool one that looks like a guy on skis that could look like Gus Kensworthy if you kind of squint, because it looks like the approximate shape of an Olympic athlete. So you get to enjoy that. And Quentin, there is free sparkling cider, so you could drink.
I'm definitely having some cider and trying to keep my eye out for the snack bar if I can find one.
If someone does try to chat with you about art, because you kind of, I guess you look like you should be an art person.
Yeah, I'll try to chat with them and see where that conversation goes.
They very quickly realize that was a miscalculation on their part, and they don't turn their nose up at you, but it's a little bit of a hit to your ego.
All right. Note to self: research art things before going to an art gallery. Yes. Got it.
Eddy, you're 14. You are the only person to notice this. If you kind of turn your head a certain way, all of the figures together make this really cool, almost Rube Goldberg style machine all together. It kind of looks like a lineup for like a Justice League or an Avengers team. You have to look at it a certain way at a certain angle in order to get it. It's like a gallery within a gallery.
So Eddy's probably just gonna like awkwardly stand in that 2-foot area and just kind of not really move from it too much.
If you ever saw Mallrats, it's the boats squinting your eye.
Oh yeah.
So like does anyone go to Eddy in the course of the night and just hear them muttering to themselves about it's a boat, man?
That's funny.
Brick, as you come in, you do eventually get your admission, but you are kind of stopped cold by this 10-foot tall statue of David baseball punk. It's the only statue in the place, and you just like take a wrong turn and just there it is, and it's very arts and like very hunk, and it's just like made of marble standing there. But it's the only marble statue in the place too, so it kind of looks out of place. It's very pop art.
Oh, do I look at it and maybe sort of see a little bit of resemblance in the face?
Maybe, but you also have very classical features, so that's potentially unintentional, but it's potentially intentional. It's hard to say. You could ask if you want.
Okay. Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe if it comes up. Yeah, I just got here. I'm a little huffy and puffy because I probably just ran here.
You're a little
hey guys.
sweaty too from the humidity. You're a little sweaty.
I'm sweaty. I'm a little hot. Hey guys, sorry I was late. I just got off of practice. Can you believe they charge $0.25 to get in this place? I had to. Thankfully, my mom goes to Aldi all the time, so we had $0.25 in the car. But,
sorry, I forgot to say something about the quarters.
Oh no, it's not a big
cider.
Deal.
I'll offer him a glass of cider.
Yeah, I am so thirsty. I grabbed the cider and I literally kind of cartoon pour it down my throat.
By the way, just FYI, the cider makes me more thirsty because
it's sparkling. The intent was there. Really good, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Hey,
nice and smooth.
This is really I wasn't expecting the bubbles.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
It's over there if you want more.
Oh, I'll partake. Sure. So what are you guys up to? What's going on? Brick is probably a little cheery because he's been working out, so he's a little pumped. Probably had some pre-workout and maybe a little bit of post-workout, so he's he's a little jazzed right now. So which is why his alertness was so high. He's just he's ready to go.
We've
got
just
all
been
those
kind
B
of
vitamins and caffeine flowing through him.
We've just been walking around looking at all the art. Do we see Alex anywhere?
Alex is moving around the room. If you'd like to actually try to flag Alex down, I wouldn't even give you a roll for that. He's trying. Sorry. There are people here. There's art journalists, Brick, the sports reporter from Angel Grove High's newspaper has been drafted into doing the art report for the evening. And you cannot remember their name to save their life, but you know them and they knew you. So if they've also looked at the 10-foot tall Adonis statue, might get a little weird for half a second there.
Should I go talk to them? should I say something to them?
Do you want to?
I don't know. You brought him up, and so now I feel like I should talk to him.
I'm just adding characters. You can also, anyone can go over to talk to Alex. While you were deciding that, we are going to go up to the moon tile specifically where Rita lives. And none of you are hearing this, but because this is like the Power Rangers, Rita is shrinking out, Finster, are they ready yet? I can't do a Rita voice tonight. But Finster replies, almost, your glowing, glorious highness. And Rita replies, they better be. All right. So the Rangers like, art, huh? I'll give them all the art they can handle. And then we'll go back to the art scene. Would anyone
in
like
your defense, Rita's voice is a really hard voice to do.
I had sparkling cider earlier this evening, so my throat is dehydrated, so I can't do my high pitch. But if anyone would like to talk to Judd, or his name is Craig, by the way. Craig is the guy that does the sports reporting. If anyone would like to talk to Judd or Craig or Alex, this is a good time to do
Judd?
so.
Did I miss
Just the Viking guy I was talking to.
Oh, okay.
It's the only 7-foot tall Viking in the building, and his name is Judd, who has made friends with Cecily.
I'd like to try to wave Alex down and talk to him for just a minute. I know he's busy, but I'd like to wave him down at some point.
Yep.
I'd like to think that maybe I'm walking around and what's his name? Gary? Trent. What did you just say?
Craig, this reporter from Grove High.
Right. I think he purposefully tries to bump into me, because he wants to talk to me about something
Bro.
sports related.
Bro, I hate this. I don't know why they make a sports person do this. I don't know. Do you get this at all? This looks like a whole bunch of sexy dudes. It's so weird. Did you see? There's like a 10-foot tall statue of like a dude. It's so weird.
Yeah. It's all art is all about what you see. So that's what I would say about that to you.
You know what's art? Cool Runnings. Craig loves Cool Runnings. That's his favorite movie. Cool Runnings is art. Why couldn't they do an art gallery experience for Cool Running? This looks like a whole bunch of like dudes.
Well, hey, there's something for your little newspaper you got going on. Rather, you should write something about Cool Runnings. You should write something about that.
I mean, clearly you haven't been reading the newspaper because I do a Cool Runnings retrospective every year. We almost got that one actor that one time. Still upset about that.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Sparkling.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I have one right here. Take it. So, hey, my friends are over there. I'm going to go talk to them. See ya.
All right. Yeah, that's about the extent of conversation anybody wants to have with Craig. He is a deeply unhappy person, but he loves Cool Running. So, Jane, you can try to flag down Alex. Alex does eventually get over to go, oh, hello. Hi. Welcome. You came. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the Madhouse. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing? This is amazing.
I hope so. I know it's not for everyone. I haven't really done graffiti style before. This is really new for me. Mostly what I do is the canvas work. And this is just really on transparency. It's on the wall. I commissioned a marble sculpture. It's about 10 feet tall. It's really cool. Oh, there's one portion of the gallery where if you look at it a certain way, it looks. And Alex is just rambling on, not taking a breath, and then he finally notices everyone else and goes, "Oh, hello. He's I know you. You're the yes, I know you. You're Cecily. You do things with you should meet my boyfriend. You should meet Judd. He's around here somewhere."
Oh, yeah. I did meet Judd.
Yes, he's lovely, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Super cool. Yeah. Good for you.
Thank you. I try. Is everyone enjoying the art experience? Is everyone I sold 2 pieces. I feel
I imagine that Eddy probably hasn't moved from that spot. He's just absolutely focused on this whole perspective thing that he tripped into.
Quentin's probably out trying to find where Eddy is at the moment, so he'll probably come across him just standing at the stage.
Eddy is like in this almost the exact center of the room, so it's more about like ignoring traffic patterns essentially. But that's actually something Alex intended, and he chuckles when he sees that Eddy is kind of rooted to the spot, but doesn't comment on it because he doesn't want to ruin the illusion.
Alex, I really like that. Did you sculpt that sculpture in the front there?
Oh, I commissioned it. It's supposed to be David, but as an athlete. I think it's really important to look at all the ways that we've objectified the male form over the years and to bring kind of newness into it. It's very, very much like, Joker in the Batman, where he's trying to make new art, except it's constructive instead of destructive. It's also very tall. They need something tall in that area because the light up there that wouldn't reach down to a canvas. So I just needed something tall. Why? Would you like to purchase it? It's oddly reasonably priced.
Oh, I don't know if I have the money for a giant marble statue, but I was just wondering what your inspiration was behind it. So yeah, that's cool. Thanks.
Oh yeah. If you turn the right way, it does kind of look like you in the cheekbones, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
I've looked in the mirror and I've seen that bot a couple times. So yeah, I thought maybe you might have, but if not, it's okay. It's no big deal.
A smarter person would have based it off of their own boyfriend. And Alex makes a cheerful joke. And that is the moment when the lights go out in the gallery, and there is a transformer break, and
Eddy makes an audible "damn."
Yes, and so at that point they usher.
All right, Eddy, it was a boat. You're fine.
It takes them about half an hour to get the electricity back on. So in that time, we're going to move to the after party, as it were. And Jane, if you would like to give everyone their painting.
Yeah,
it's a good time to do it.
So when we are back at my house and we're done with eating and we're just kind of hanging out, I say I made something I have something for all of you. Hang on, let me go grab it. And she like runs into her bedroom and kind of stacks them carefully on top of one another. And each one is wrapped in your ranger color. So I pass them all out and give you each. It's about hold on, I gotta remember what size I said it was. I think it was.
It's a 14 by 14
Thank
giant mural. Okay. You have to like wheel it out on a hand truck.
Yeah, it's a good decent size. And
14
when everybody
feet by 14 feet or 14 inches?
Yes, obviously 14 feet.
I'm teasing. It's not 14 feet by 14 feet. But wouldn't that be a
She just
That
rolls
would
that
be
out of her house and be
impressive.
like, where were you storing?
It is what did I say it was 11 by 14. And when you unwrap it, it is a canvas painting of all of us around the bonfire. The first time we were all at the bonfire together. And each person, the frame, I made a frame out of like reclaimed wood, and I've kind of painted it or stained it and painted it in your ranger colors. So I just wanted to say thank you guys for.
Is each one a unique piece, or is it duplicates of a core
No, it's all the
piece?
same piece. Yeah, it's all the same piece. She had a bunch of them to make, so she just kind of made the same one. So all of us would have one. The only thing that's different is the color of the frame. But yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys for being so supportive when I won the scholarship and for being just really great friends. So I really hope you like it. She's very nervous and uncomfortable, a little awkward.
Yeah, the pause there is probably
Yeah.
longer in her head than it actually is.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, this is awesome. Thank you.
This is really cool. I've
Yeah.
never had somebody make something like this for me.
Jane, you painted this?
Yes.
Jane, this is like really good, Jane.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jane, this is like unbelievably good, Jane.
Thank
I don't know
you.
where you were able to find all the different wood stains that kind of match our colors either. That's really creative.
Jane, this looks
Yes.
just like me.
Almost like that statue. It's creepy.
Jane.
I would like to give you a story point for Jane. This looks just like me. I feel like that deserves a story point.
Eddie's gonna like choke up a little bit, but otherwise not really be able to say anything.
Thanks. I'm glad that you guys like it.
Yeah, Cecily's going to really appreciate the artistic ways that she's handled the subject matter.
And at this point, Jane's not making eye contact with anybody, and her face is like beet red. And she's very awkward and embarrassed. And I'm just really glad you guys like it. And again, thank you guys for being so wonderful.
Eddie's gonna move over to Jane and just give her like a one-armed hug.
Thank you.
By the way, Brick, it's getting more humid.
Hello?
Jane, do you think maybe we could like open a window? I'm just so hot. Are you guys hot? Is it just me or what's going
Anybody hear me?
Does anyone? Okay, all right. So, anyone with survival or something that would give you weather capabilities, give me a roll. Anyone that wants to give me a good old-fashioned alertness roll, you can. But if you have weather stuff,
I
how's the
included
time
in
to
this
use
or
it?
no?
No, you're currently dealing with it.
Can I roll science?
Eddie got a 12. You can roll science if you want to. Eddie got a 12. Jane got a 19.
I just rolled alertness. Is that okay?
Yes. The difficulty was high, but you passed the difficulty.
What's the roll for?
The roll is for if you have
If we
weather,
can find out
survival.
why Brick is so hot.
Yeah.
Well, genetics, most likely.
I was going to go with.
I mean, there's a
abs.
statue of you looking like David in a baseball uniform at an art gallery. Okay, so
Cecily
Cecily
got a 20.
you got a 20. So it has gotten humid. It was not humid earlier when you arrived. It has gotten progressively more humid as the night has gone on. But it's not like the fun steamy where like there's going to be like rain afterwards and it's going to be really soothing and smell great. Like it starts to feel progressively as evening goes on, kind of like a weighted blanket. Like you can just feel it happening. I'm going to give Cecily with your 20 in science.
And I got a 17 in science. Wow, Cecily
I
is
got a 17
amazing.
in science, but Cecily is going to be the only one to notice this. Cecily, when you get home, the flowers in your front yard, what kind of flowers do you have in the front yard of your house?
She's going to have lots of wildflowers because we don't want a lot of invasive species. So they're like normal California wildflowers, then there's also lots of lavender, because it's useful.
Your lavender has drowned. Like in so much as lavender can wilt on a bush because it usually comes on a bush. When you get home, especially, it's not that it's humid. Something is happening to your front yard from this humidity, and it's not something science-based.
That's not cute.
Yeah, the bees don't seem to notice it because bees always come around lavender. But the lavender itself it's melting, like it's in its own oil painting almost.
I'm gonna snap a little pic and send it to the group chat. And be like, look how sad my plants look. Sad face emoji.
At 11:30 in the evening, each of you get a "look how sad my plants look" notification.
Sad face emoji. It's actually a crying face emoji. I apologize.
I'll respond back with, it's less humid as it gets cooler out at night. This is weird.
It's super weird and kind of distressing.
I'd text the group back in all caps, I'm sweating.
I'm going to text back, that's normal.
It's too much.
So by the time the morning rolls around, the humidity has not abated. It is now at like a baseline, but it's like it's not comfy. But it's not hot enough for it to be like so bad that people can't be outside. But it's just like, if you can't sleep well in heat, you wake up a little irritated and you didn't get a lot of rest. Also, does anyone watch the morning news with the people in their house? How do you all get your morning news?
I'll definitely watch the morning news. Well, humidity, I'm probably not really able to sleep too well anyway. Yeah. So in the morning when Kim and Dennis brew up some coffee, I'll join them. They'll probably have the TV on.
My dad will probably have the TV on in the living room.
Dennis is trying to make iced coffee this morning, but doesn't quite get the idea of iced coffee. So it's like he made hot coffee and is trying to put it over ice.
That sounds correct to me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work out, but your
NPR is blasting.
Yeah. This is going to be a local news report, so if you're listening to NPR, you are not going to hear this.
My grandfather has it on, and I always just kind of listen, kind of passively listen.
What about AGPR, Angel Grove Public Radio?
There is that, but right now they're on a funding drive, so no one's listening to them.
Yeah.
Because the funding drive makes them seem very sad and desperate, so no one's listening to them right now. But hold on to that thought. So when you come down, you've got your cup of coffee with your ice cubes in it. Your lavender is melted. You've been sweating all night, and you hear from the bubbly female news anchor. For those just tuning in, a rash of vandalism around Angel Grove has led the mayor to call for an emergency press conference. Just 5 minutes ago, a curfew was announced for all teens of all ages in the Angel Grove Municipal County and Township, ages 13 to 21, along with the questioning and what is to be the detainment of art activist Alexander Magnus. Their art exhibit at the Angel Grove Promenade Gallery is already being disassembled by curators who promise they'll have nothing more to do with this particular installation. We'll keep you informed as the story unfolds. Now, you'd think with how many nuts the squirrel is beginning to forage, they were an evil witch in the sky. Isn't that right, Tim? Because the female anchor goes from the serious to the other story. The female anchor did show sides of buildings that do have graffiti on them, and it does look like humanoid figure silhouettes. So if you kind of squint, it would be Alex's work, but it would only be to people that have looked for like 5 seconds and then looked away. There's a lot of it all over town if these news reports are to be believed. But more importantly, something must have really happened, because now there's a curfew for all teens ages 13 to 21 in the greater Angel Grove area, which seems like an overreaction to vandalism a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just a touch.
Yeah, and that's not good for us.
Last I checked, I'm not 21.
Yeah. I'm going to grab my phone and hit up the group text and just say, hey, did anybody else see the news this morning about the graffiti and Alex?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would be something Alex would do.
No, not at all.
The art that they showed in those clips, there's nothing like what was in that gallery. I looked long and hard at those things. It was very different.
Well, let's be straight. You looked long and hard at one thing.
No, I looked long and hard at an entire perspective. You didn't notice it.
It was
It was something else. It was something else. Scooter.
So, are we going to just try to go around town and clean this up, or
Clean up. We're
graffiti?
texting each other, right?
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
still
you can call it-
sweating.
I don't think
It
any
is
of us have stopped
pretty hot.
sweating.
Oh yeah, I got pit stains going, and I just woke up.
I just decided to not wear a shirt.
Well, that's what the patriarchy can do for us, huh?
What?
Not wear a
Because
shirt.
I'm a girl and I have to wear a shirt.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm mad that I can't.
Well, I'm at home, so I mean, if you're at home, I guess you could still.
So here's what I'm going to do as the GM. So I'm just going to go around, and you have all this information. We're just going to see what do you want to do with it. So
We gotta find Alex. Where's Alex? Who knows how to get in touch with Alex?
I can text him.
Yeah, see if he responds to you. If not,
Yeah, see
maybe
if he's
we have
alright.
to go on a. Maybe we can.
Was
If you
I
can't
able to
ask
snag
Alpha-
Judd's?
Yeah, if we can't get a hold of Alex, maybe Judd can help us out.
Because I think I probably got his number because we were.
Jane, when you text Alex, there's no response. Cecily, when you text, are you going to text or are you going to call Judd?
I'm gonna text Judd because I don't know if he's like asleep or something. I don't want to be rude.
Judd takes a while to respond, and it seems like he writes and then erases a couple times, and then you get a text. He didn't do it, and then a follow-up text. I can't believe they put him in jail.
Oh my God, you guys! They put Alex in jail for
What?
this. Yeah, and I don't. They must just assume that since he's an artist, that he is definitely the person behind all of this, even though it only vaguely resembles his work. And it's completely unfair, a complete miscarriage of justice, if you ask me.
Seems a little extreme, even for that. Was anyone really out to get the guy?
Yeah.
I don't know about any.
Well, if they're
like,
deeming him
enemies.
a public nuisance, I suppose. I don't really know how the adults around here operate when it comes to this sort of thing. But am I disappointed? Yes. Am I shocked? No.
I'm wondering why the heck there's a curfew along with this
Yeah.
too.
And all this was painted last night.
Yeah, this all seems incredibly quick and incredibly severe.
Plus, wouldn't the humidity have affected how that would all dry? Or am I thinking too much about painting? I don't know.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the kind of paint you're using.
Yeah, is any of the graffiti kind of like droopy, drippy, or?
Yeah, everything would be kind of droopy and nasty and sticky.
So because they are running the newscast over and over again because it's the most sensational thing to happen, and no one can figure out what's going on with the humidity, so they will not go to the weatherman to save their lives. But the longer you watch it, the more they just show like these kind of 4 different alley images of these figures in graffiti, and they.
I use my Streetwise to kind of figure out where it's at.
You can always use your Streetwise to see if you can figure out where it's at. It is both drippy and not. There's no other way. It looks like it stopped mid-drip, essentially.
Do these pieces of graffiti resemble anything that might have been in the thing last night in the gallery?
Are you seeing them on the TV? Have you logged on to Groves to see the conversation about curfew? How are you viewing these photos?
I'm viewing the photos on my phone through Groves.
People, you can't find the pictures, essentially. People are so enraged about a curfew for people between 13 and 21 and all anyone can talk about is like going down to City Hall and protesting, essentially.
Okay, can I turn on the news? Click.
You can turn on the news. It's all anyone's talking about, and it's so. What are you trying to find out?
I'm asking if these pieces of art resemble anything that was in the gallery yesterday.
No, only that they look like people, and not even like it's like crudely drawn people at that. It doesn't look anything. The more you look at it, the more you're like, if people think this guy is art, then one, they have no idea what art is. Two, they obviously were not at the gallery last night.
Well, I'm right. So I'm asking if we could find the things from if we could find something from the gallery that could prove that it's not the same art.
They started disassembling his installments, didn't they?
They would, and the installments, Jane, I'm just going to give you this for free. You know that if it's disassembled from the gallery, it's coming from the school, so it would end up back at the school.
Okay.
That's just logic, and also that's where Alex's stuff generally is because his stuff takes up room.
Oh,
Right.
that's right. Okay, so he's an artist at the school. There should be all of his art all around the school. All right.
I got a 15 on Streetwise to try to figure out where this alleyway is.
Yeah, so you're pretty sure it's State and Stone, which is kind of close to Restaurant Row, but not really.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
as
going to
close as
message
anything
that
is.
to everybody. I'm pretty sure this is where this alleyway is.
So we're all in agreement that these paintings could not have been made by Alex, right?
100%.
They look very different.
All right.
Yeah.
Does anyone know? I heard on the news that they're taking the stuff from the gallery down. But maybe we can get to the school and see if any of his art is. Jane, you have access to the art room, right?
Yeah, and that's where they would take it. I think that's where he keeps his stuff.
Well, then maybe we should go to the school and see if we can get something to clear Alex's name. Meanwhile, maybe a couple of us can go to the actual pieces of art and check them out and see if there's any funny business going on over there, a la Witch in the Sky.
Ooh, yeah, definitely.
Speaking of that, I want to excuse myself from my kitchen table, and I'm going to take my phone and I'm going to go in my bedroom and close the door. And I want to use my communicator to reach out to Alpha and just ask if they know of anything, because weird things are happening down here.
Yeah. So Alpha, the first words out of Alpha's mouth is, "Are you calling about the graffiti, Jane?
The graffiti and the humidity.
You're having humidity?
It's just unnaturally humid and hot, and I feel like maybe it's something more.
We'll try to work on it." Zordon kind of chimes and goes, "Miss Russell, your instincts are correct. Right now we are trying to work out this problem. There's a signature of a spell, but we cannot figure out what exactly it is or where it's coming from. But this so-called graffiti is not what it appears to be. If you're going to check it out, you must be careful, Ranger."
Thank you. If you come up with anything else, please reach out.
You hear something in the background go, and then you hear it go, Alpha go, "Aye, aye, aye! Where's the fire extinguisher?" And then it crackles, and the communication ends.
Okay.
You're
All right.
having quite a day at the command.
I'm going to grab my phone and I'm going to send out a text and I'm going to say, I reached out to our friend in the fish tank, and he says that it's some sort of spell, but they can't quite figure out what it is. And if we go to investigate, we need to be careful. So maybe we should all go visit it together just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down with sticking together. I do not want to end up more humid and stuck somewhere.
Cecily, look outside your window right now, if you're not outside.
I'm going to look.
You know how it was a sunny morning this morning, but it was humid? Yeah, it's all cloud cover now.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Okay, I still think that one of us needs to go to the school to get a piece of artwork from that is Alex's to clear his name.
And Jane's got the keys for that, so
Yeah,
possibly best if we all just dip into the school together and then
and then go to the alley.
go to Stone
All right, cool.
or Sage Street or
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, let's all meet at the school then.
Yeah.
Yes. We go to commercial break, and then we come back. And you are at the school. You are. It is quiet because nobody is here, which is also kind of odd because Alex is a well-known Angel Grove student. But you realize as you're approaching the art studio, there are two cops stationed in front of the. Are you going in through the? Are you trying the loading dock first, or are you just trying the class?
Jane, do you think we should go in through the back? Should we go in through the?
Well,
should we try the
mean-
loading? Do you think we should just go in through the front door?
I don't know. If we go in through the front, I mean, I technically would have a reason to be here because I use the studio. So
Well-
that might be able to get us in. But then I'm worried that they won't let us. So maybe the back way? I don't know. I'm indecisive.
Here's a better question for you then, Jane. Which way is it easier to get to the art room? Because I feel like the less
Loading
people
dock.
that see us, the better. So let's head to the
loading
back,
dock.
to the loading dock.
Yeah,
But
we might get lucky, and then maybe a piece of art is still on a truck, and we can just kind of. I hate to steal, but maybe we could just kind of grab it off the back of the truck if it's there.
Yeah, we'll just borrow a piece of art.
temporarily borrowing without permission but with purpose.
That makes I like the justification. I think it works well.
Those two cops are standing in front of the back entrance, the loading dock.
Yeah, there are two cops. The roll cage is down, and there is no sign of a truck. They're not like super beefy cops or anything. They're just kind of plainclothes officers, and they're just like staring forward.
Are they the same doofy cops from the?
They're just, if like someone made you sketch a picture of a cop, you'd sketch them. But it's just because they are so average looking, they literally don't look like. They are not from the concourse. They are not the cops from the concourse.
That's what I was asking. Like the security guards from the.
Those are security guards from the concourse. They only work there, which is probably better for Angel Grove.
Would you consider the art that's there a mundane item?
I would consider it not a mundane item because it's necessary for this episode for choices that you have made. Does anyone want to approach the officers?
I want to turn back and say, should I try to get in through the cops, or should we look and see if there's cops by the main door inside?
Maybe one of us should create a distraction.
That's where my brain was at.
Who's good at distractions?
I mean, I could go over there and talk to him about my pot collection.
You know what?
Zordon,
Sold.
I'm gonna go to Small Town Roots for this. Is there what would be your advice for how we should get past these guys?
My advice is no matter what you do, you're not going to get past them. That's my advice.
That's not advice.
That is a warning, though. That is warning.
So
it's
socially, we're not going to get into the loading dock. Could we sneak into the loading dock?
You can always attempt to sneak. I will not stop you from also trying to engage them socially. I'm just letting you know that they are a fixed point in the story doing something fixed. And so
it's a fixed point in time. I got
it. It's a fixed point in time, much like the doctor. No one said Small Town Roots. The advice couldn't be cryptic. No one said it had to be clear.
It's like going to the Fates and be like, "Hey, tell me what the future holds," and they're like, "Oh, great, a riddle. Thanks."
Yeah.
Remind me that if I ever play a game where you're GMing, that I don't take those kind of skills.
You didn't bring me a snake. You didn't bring me the other two things from the Sandman Dream for Fate. So you get what you get, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. What do you think?
Is there a window into the art room? Can we just climb into this window on the side of the building or something?
Is there a window into the art room?
There is a window inside the building.
Suggestion.
Okay. Yes.
There. Maybe. Well, given what's going on, given the fact that people might recognize us or know who we are, whoever ends up kind of trying to get into the school, maybe they should get a little Mighty and Morphin before they do.
Wait,
I was actually thinking, can't we get teleported in?
Okay, now I have two ideas.
Well, we can try it. Is teleporting a thing that we have to ask Zordon and Alpha to do, or can we just kind of like try and do it with our communicator, like bop it and?
You can. So it doesn't really say in the book how teleportation works, but I'm going to make it say that as long as it makes sense to the story, you can only do it so many times. So if you teleport now,
you might not be able to teleport later.
Yes. So that's the choice you have to make. Is how important it is for you, because the school is not locked currently. So like you could just walk into the school as students. No one's going to stop you from walking into the school.
You just said the cops are going to stop us.
The loading
backside.
The loading dock.
I said there is a loading dock. You can still go.
Yeah, let's try the front door then.
Whoa.
So the whole time the front door was open.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, the front door's been open the whole time.
Maybe you could reach out to Judd and see if maybe Judd has a piece of art that could help us, and then we don't have to get in. We don't have to worry about the cops.
Well, it sounds like we can just walk in the school now. So.
Yeah. Reach out to Judd, and we'll just go in through the front and try to see if we can make our way back to the art room from there.
Yeah. And then that way we at least have a backup if there are more cops inside the school.
Yeah.
Let's.
Swing on in.
Do we want to all go in at the same time, or do some of us?
Yeah, I'd say we all go in. Besides, I think this is a much better idea. I don't think those cops would have liked my plug story.
Yeah, I don't think Starsky and Hutch are going to be fans of that, man.
Anyone give me an alertness roll that have been looking at these cops?
They're putties. All right.
Thatch got a 14.
14.
Quentin got a
24.
17.
I got a 22.
Jane
Rick
Long
Kerrigan got a
park.
24.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
he's still
Cecily
taking that free
Adwell
workout
got
stuff.
a 3.
You were busy
3.
texting, so it's fine.
You're busy texting.
Yeah, I was-
I feel like I should. I feel like I could just like casually walk past them with that score.
Well, except for the fact they're not blinking, which is they have not moved. They're not blinking, and they may or may not be breathing. It's hard to tell from where you're at, but
Just to point out that the GM did say they're a fixed point.
yeah,
Yep.
they are not blinking at the very least, which is very unsettling. Judd only sends you one text message, Cecily, that says at jailhouse, we'll be in contact later. Sad face. So Judd is otherwise detained. But yeah, so are you going in the school? Are you still in the loading dock? What would you like to do?
Are these guys statues?
Is anyone else really catching that? That's
Yeah.
Oh, they
That's
haven't
all.
moved this whole time we've been here.
Maybe they're from overseas and they're part of the Royal Guard. Those guys never.
Can I throw a rock at one of them?
throw it at like the wall next to him
Just
or
at the
something.
mention, I'm going to duck behind a bush because I don't want to get caught. The guy.
Use targeting if you're.
I
if
just
you're
want
trying
just like
to
a pebble, not like a real, just something to like maybe get their attention if they have any
Sure.
to give.
Like a lofted toss, so not exactly like a meme, but like
Yeah, it's still going to be targeting. It's still a ranged attack, one of them. So it's still targeting, which you were very good at. So
we believe in you, Brick.
21.
so what? So did you? So with the 21, anything lower than a 15, I probably would have been like, and you beam one of them right between the eyes. Where would you have liked this aim to have gone? Rick?
I just kind of want to like, well, that's funny because my thought was to beam them between the eyes, but sounds like maybe I shouldn't do that.
I mean, I'm going to tell you what to do. You can beam
well,
it between the eyes.
I'm just thinking like if whatever. Okay,
What if you get one of them in the eye? See if they blink.
I don't
want to
do that. I want to just see if they react to it. So maybe just like their leg or something.
They do not react to it.
Use a bigger rock. We'll just
Like
keep moving up in scale.
progressively larger objects. We're just tossing.
That's concerning to me. I'm gonna walk up to him.
I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna stick with you just in case this is some funky putty.
Cool.
Same.
Hey, so
Spectacular.
let's do this. GM, are you keen with us staying in one group, or is it possible for us to split?
You can split if you want to. You can stay in one group by whatever you'd like to do.
Can we dance if we want
Eddy,
to?
do you want to hang out with me and Jane and Quentin and Cecily? You guys can go try the front door.
I'm down with that.
Are you sure you want us to leave you?
I mean, if anything,
Brick's got my back.
I
Yeah,
feel
we
like-
have our communicators.
Yeah, I feel like if anything happens, we'll be able to get in contact with each other. But I think
Okay.
getting this piece of art is kind of important, or at least I want to get it. So.
Also, I cannot express the front door has not been locked this whole time, so you're really just
Alright.
going to walk into the school. You do not have to break into anywhere.
Okay.
In case,
Yeah, I think this is a good plan. Brick and Eddy, you can deal with the two robots in the back here, and we'll go in the front there.
Cool.
Okay, if their
Walk
eyes
up.
glow red, I'd say we just go ahead and like morph.
Yeah, for sure. Don't worry, I got it covered. All right. I'm gonna walk up to the cops, quote unquote.
great. They grin at you,
Grin.
That's unsettling.
and then the grin gets wider
Oh no.
and wider and wider. Yeah, so they have a human-esque form which they're currently in. Their arms get longer until their arms reach the floor, and then they hunch over and they start chuckling like hyenas at you, Rick.
All right. Abort mission. Abort mission. Abort mission. I'm starting to run away from these people.
So, Jane, yeah, the front door was open this whole time. And hopefully the other two are doing as good as we are.
Yeah, so before we hear the abort mission, we go inside.
Brick, they are not letting you leave. By the way, you start to walk, and they are quick. Yeah, they block your path.
I'm going to position myself between Brick and the creepy arm dude.
Great. There's two of them now because
All right.
there were two of them. So
Cool. Hey, Extendo Arms, you mind if I scoot past you here? I do a little, like, fake out back and forth.
Your willpower.
13.
Eddy's is 13 as well.
Ooh.
That's a big roll.
So they got a 21. They're hissing at you now.
Hissing?
Hiss chuckling. It's kind of like the sound that a snake makes before they attack.
Oh, well, I guess this is going to happen eventually. It's Morphin time. I morph. Pink Falcon power.
It's really cool. They do not really respond to it, sadly. Like, they acknowledge that you are now pink in an armor, but they have not moved from that spot, blocking you in.
So I'm going to take the opportunity to also black Mastodon power and follow suit with my pink friend.
You guys are really good actors. Normally when I do this, people go pretty crazy. So
they are going to attempt to grapple you. What is your toughness?
My toughness, 14. Jesus.
You are grappled, and they attempt to slingshot you into the loading dock door while giggling.
Hey, you're getting in still.
This is at the door itself.
The door itself, yeah. You're not getting the roll cage is still down.
They just threw me. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they just made you a light. 1 second you are on the ground, the next second you are in the air. More unsettlingly, Eddy, you see this. They teleport, and so when Britt hits the wall, the wheeler that was in front of him is right next to him, standing over him again.
Okay, they're not playing fair.
Quick, show me your pod collection.
Not usually a hugger, but that was pretty intense. So anyway, can I, since he's right in front of me, I'm going to take this opportunity. Can I blast him with my blade blaster?
I would recommend doing something. Yes.
Yeah, I'm assuming I'm on the ground still, but he's like right up, like standing on top of me. So I feel like I have a good shot here. So I'm gonna pull out my blade blaster and give him a good old buzz.
Great. Are you using it as a dagger, or are you using like an energy thing to try to get?
I'm shooting.
You're shooting. So use a targeting for any shot that you can.
22.
That is more than their toughness. They make kind of a surprise noise, and they teleport to Eddy, and Eddy, they are going to attempt to grapple and throw you.
So is this you need willpower or toughness on this one?
This is going to be a toughness.
My toughness is an 18 when I'm morphed.
Okay, well, they got a 14, so they don't do it. You're just, I guess, sturdier on your feet. But the tall creeps are now, there are two of them, and like they are kind of walking around you, but it kind of sounds like they're on a bike. Like you hear the sound of someone on a bike, but you don't see any wheels. And they're it seems like they're laughing at you. They are laughing. So that's happening.
Okay, I'm going to go on my little communicator, and I'm going to ask how everyone's doing. If they're, hey, are you guys find any of that art yet?
While he's doing that, I'm going to accost one of these wheelers with my fists.
Anything that you do with a fist is blunt, and that's going to be a might roll, please.
Oh, I got a total of a 6.
That 6 is not going to meet their toughness. Hey, Jane.
Yeah.
You remember being in Stone Canyon?
Yep.
You remember that locked door with the girls behind it that were practicing witchcraft unbeknownst to themselves? Hashtag watch the streamathon?
Yes.
You remember that lock that was on that door?
Yes.
Yeah, that lock is on this door.
What the? I've seen this before when I was in Stone Canyon.
Huh?
The lock?
It's a giant cartoon brass lock made of evil.
Right.
Made of evil.
By our powers combined.
The best way to describe it. It's an evil lock.
Yeah. And it took all of us to get through the door. We had to use our special something to get through
So
the door.
what you're saying is this lock isn't natural or normal.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying.
Which means
Right.
those cops wouldn't be.
Yes. So we can either try to get through this, but last time it took all of us. or we can head out and make sure the other two are okay.
Cut back to Eddy and I, and we're being juggled by the
Right.
juggled by the two
I'm sure they're fine.
long arms.
The arms are very unsettling. It's very much a Wheeler situation. So do you want to go out, run around?
Nobody
trade
responded to my so I'm going to do it again. Hey, how's everything going in there?
There's an evil lock on the door.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're
Well,
having a
Eddy
lot
and
of
I
trouble
found
over
something.
here with this big lock.
Oh, well, hey, I'd love to come and help you, but
Good
turns
cops.
out that these cops are not statues and are in fact monsters. So,
On the way.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I'd like to
can
morph
I-
as we're running out. Sorry.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Morph as you run out.
Well, is there anybody else here in the school?
No one is there today, which again is surprising because a very famous student was just detained by the
They're
cops.
all at town hall
Protester.
mad about the
Right.
curfew.
That's fair. But yeah, there's no one else here. If you want to
Sure.
run through the halls and morph while running, I'm not going to stop you.
All right. That sounds like a good epic. Cinematic shot.
Before any of you do that, by the way, I'd like an alertness roll from anyone inside the school.
And Jane got a 12.
Jen got a 12. Quentin got a 6.
On Cecily. Come on.
Let's roll it. Let's-
Cecily.
Cecily,
Do it.
roll that
Sorry,
alert.
my thing is-
Come on.
Move that
Cecily.
Move that bus.
18.
She got an
Let's go.
18.
That's gotta
Nice.
be good.
Yeah.
right?
So, Quentin, go ahead and morph if you're going to do so. You don't have to, by the way. You can choose not to.
I feel with that alertness roll, I ran into a locker or something.
I also feel that
no,
we can't
you
trust
just-
what you say.
You just didn't alert. You just weren't alerted to the thing that was seen by other people. So you can choose to morph because Jane has said they're going to morph. So it's up to you.
Morphin time.
I mean, all right, that was the plan. Yellow saber-tooth power.
Jane,
that.
Jane, go ahead and morph.
All right. Red T-Rex power.
Great. Jane, you don't see it either. Cecily, go for it if you're going to morph.
Oh, I'm gonna morph. Blue unicorn power.
Great. And as
Pew.
as your visor comes down and you're running through the hall, you pass a bulletin board that has a whole bunch of announcements on it. Well, usually would, except now all the announcements, all the pieces of paper have turned into little statue things, like paper, like drawings, versions of the graffiti that are apparently.
We
And
have
so-
his art in our pockets. We have the stickers from the thing.
You mean it was within us the whole time?
Except for the fact that if you change clothes, it may not still be in your pocket. So that's up to you.
Probably.
Uh,
I
but-
probably
but-
am wearing the same pants as yesterday, honestly.
What a
But
dumb.
suffice it to say, Cecily, you notice this as your visor goes down. It's probably because as a unicorn, you're just kind of looking around as the Blue Ranger with unconventional wisdom. And yeah, these are definitely, they're not quite the same. They're very crude, but they're scribbled versions of the graffiti that you saw on the news earlier.
Okay, gonna nab that.
I need Brick and Eddy to give me persuasion, please.
Do you want me to apply diplomacy specialty or no?
Yes. Always go for specialization.
Eddie Thatch rolled a 13.
Great. Yeah. So when they look at you, something happens with their eyes, and you are both terrified and rooted to the spots. And they are just driving around you. Jade, Cecily, and Quentin, as you get out to the loading dock, the former security officers that are now Wheelers from Return to Oz, apparently, because you don't know what they're actually called yet, and they won't respond to a name, are encircling Brick and Eddy. But the second you arrive and they see you, they make this like ha noise, and then they teleport away.
Oh, that
Whoa.
was unsettling.
What was that?
I hated it.
Do these suits come with a flush feature?
What?
Nothing at all.
Okay.
Are you both okay?
They can reply, but it's it's going to take a couple minutes for you to like remember how your body works. You will eventually be able to like move at your natural speed again, but like you are bewildered right now. Like Jane is talking to you, but like it's hard to focus on her words.
Hearing that bike chime.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
Very much the opposite of fun.
All right, note to self: stick together next time.
Physically.
They were pretty strong, but they just nothing we were doing like really had any effect on him. It was like I blasted one right in the face, and he just kind of teleported away and didn't really. It was weird. But did you guys have any luck in there, or what's going on? What's going on in school?
Hey Eddy, do you remember in Stone Canyon? Do you remember the lock that was on that door?
Yep. Yeah, like the weird voodoo lock.
Yeah, it's on the door to the art studio.
That was in Stone Canyon.
Yeah.
And there's one here.
Yeah, it's on the door inside.
Okay. Did you guys try like kicking it? Did it like do the same things as last time?
No, we came right back out.
Yeah, I mean it looks really big and possibly made of evil.
Okay. And Jane and I met some really cool people in Stone Canyon. We all just kind of expressed ourselves at the lock, and it was like our powers combined.
Raising.
I'm still a little jostled, but like it got weaker with each application of color, and it took all of us that were there at the time. So this might be something similar. So all of us like. Let's all go to the lock. Just call it that.
Okay.
For a bunch of evil people, they really sure love us proving the power of friendship to them. Let's go check it out.
It's almost like the power of friendship is the weakness.
See, that's why you're the smart one.
Barely. Playing Cecily, I'm pretty sure she can work circles around me.
As you are going to go to the lock, give me a second, dude.
Yeah, those wheelers are freaking terrifying. You gotta get some water.
As you go to the lock, the wrist communicator chime that when they want to get in touch with you, it goes off in your helmet as you are Morph, and you hear Zora's voice and go, Rangers, where are you at the moment?
We're at school.
Please head to State and Stone Street immediately. They're not putties. I do not know what they are called, but they are attacking civilians on State and Stone Street.
All right,
that
sounds like our.
Taken care of.
All right. Well, so this was stop 1. Now we got to go to stop 2 on our list.
All right.
Hopefully that stop is more successful than this one.
All right.
Okay.
Let's teleport over there, Rangers.
So the mechanic for teleportation in this game is that you just get to teleport, really, but it is based on how much personal power you have, and so that's how many times you can do it. So most rangers at your level have 2 to 3, so there's definitely enough for at least one teleport, and then one to get to the command center if you need one. Everyone has varying levels of them, but you can definitely get to State and Stone, and when you get there, Cecily, remember how it was humid enough to melt lavender?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more humid now. And it has not improved the mental state of any of the teens, which are on the verge of writing about the curfew that's been enacted, and also the miscarriage of justice of detaining of Alex. And on top of that, there are 5 wheelers that are just kind of roaming around now, and they don't look human. Now they look like they're made of metal, and they seem to be growing when you get there. And I want everyone to roll initiative for me.
The wheelers are growing?
The wheelers are growing.
So let's roll initiative, and then I will have everyone roll.
Hey, Thatch got a 10.
Oh, come on.
I'm gonna roll
Initiative. You can use story points to reroll initiative, by the way.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. That's disappointing.
Okay.
I got a 3, but I'm gonna just keep it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna re-roll that too. I got a 1.
Okay, is anyone not re-rolling their initiative?
Brick, Kerrigan.
Jane is not either. She wants to save her reroll.
Okay.
All right, 12.
Okay, so the Wheelers get a 17.
All right,
Brick,
so they start the round.
Brick, you're not re-rolling?
No,
Brick
I'm
got
not
a
re-rolling.
16.
No.
Okay. Brick, what'd you get? You got a 16?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jane, you re-rolled, you said? No, you're keeping it.
No, I'm going to keep mine.
What did you get, Jane?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got a 3.
You got a 3? Okay. Quentin, what did you get?
I re-rolled and got a 12.
Got a 12. Eddy, what did you get?
Eddie got a 10.
You got a 10. And Cecily, what did you get?
I re-rolled and I got a 7.
You got a 7. Great. So as you're coming up onto the scene, Cecily and Jane, because you're kind of the artist-y ones, I'm going to say, you notice... Okay, no, actually, I'm going to have this happen. So, Brick, you remember that spider creature in the Shadow Zone that almost ate your head off in your helmet? You got your Falcon Punch?
You.
Yeah. And I'm going to say, Cecily, remember at the beach where you got up on top of the cliff and there was the like weird metallic Christmas nutcracker dude there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're both holding hands and they are both currently graffiti siding the face of things. And you hear them say, the tall creeps will keep those stupid rangers busy. They're already hungry. Look how they're feeding. And I want everyone to give me a culture roll, please.
I know Cecily's going to say something sassy, so I'm
That's
excited.
Great. You can say whatever sassy thing you want after you give me a culture roll.
Eddie Thatch got a 14 on culture.
Jane got a 7.
14. Jane got a 7.
Quentin
Quentin got a
got
3.
Quentin got an 8. Rick got an 18. Cecily got a 3. So Eddy and Brick, maybe because you saw them earlier in the day, not only do they look different, now they're like kind of more metallic and they've got like worm bane things that make up their body, which is somehow less unsettling than humanoid clown things with long arms. They are getting taller and bigger. People are trying to run away from them, but it seems like as they run away, they are feasting on fear, as it were, which is hard to quantify, except you're in colored power armor and you shoot things out of your head and slice things with an axe. So maybe it's not out of the realm of disbelief, but at least one of you heard them called Tall Creeps, which is their official name in this universe's canon. They are called Tall Creeps, and at least Eddy and Brick have noticed that they have gotten bigger and they seem to be feasting on fear, which is super exciting. They are going around first, and they are going to roll up to a small group of teens, and they are going to attempt to essentially feast on fear. And they got a 13, which is going to be higher than most willpowers. They get a little bit bigger, like by about one gets 6 inches taller, the other one gains like 6 inches around their like midsection, like they're feasting. And all 3 of the kids kind of faint in a little group, but then the wheelers kind of leave them alone. For those wanting to know how big the street is, it is not quite a main thoroughfare, but it's pretty busy. There are cars parked. It is catty corner of kind of the police station where Alex was. So it's busy. There's some mayhem as people are running away, but the cops aren't going to interfere because they're just not going to interfere. And so the street is going to thin out, but it is not thinned out yet. But there are the 2 wheelers, and then you kind of start to see them wheeling around. There's 5 in total. So Brick, having seen all that, what would you like to do?
Well,
You want to throw a rock at him?
Not funny. Yeah, I learned my lesson. Guys, listen, when Eddy and I saw them, they were a lot smaller. So I think they really freaked me out. So I think their power must come from fear or something like that. So I think the first thing we need to do is everyone needs to think of something that is very comforting and helpful for them to not feel scared. So I think that's something that we should be thinking about keeping in our brains. And also, maybe we should help some of the people that are around here. Are there any people that are in like immediate danger that we need to help?
There are the 3 that have fainted. Some are kind of struggling to run away. everyone will eventually get away, but if you want to help usher people out, I will give you a story point for being heroic in that regard. But that will put you in the sight of one of the tall creeps, and they are going to come wheeling in your direction.
That would definitely be what Eddie's intention is when he gets to his initiative.
And we get to your...
I feel like we need to hit these things with something bigger.
Quentin, it is your turn. Is that what you say for everyone to do?
Do we want to use that cannon we used on the little piggy?
I mean, it wouldn't
back
hurt.
at the market.
It wouldn't hurt to do that. Should we? I mean, do we want?
We got to get the people cleared before we start blowing holes and stuff. Yeah.
You want to break out the big guns right now?
No, I'm not saying right now. I'm just saying, we get these people away, then we have to all still meet together so we can form the cannon.
Yeah, I mean, I think
So
that's
try not to get split up too much.
no. I mean, no. Yeah, good idea, Quentin. Let's do that. So I'm gonna.
Well, it's Quentin's turn.
Yeah.
So Quentin.
So
if you
after
wanna-
saying that, I'm going to try to head
it's
and
Quentin's turn.
get some of these people away.
Yeah, so I want you to use... do you want to yell at them, or are you trying to be diplomatic? How do you want to try to get these people to leave the area? Because some are trying, but some are standing stock still. Some are just, angry. So what do you want to do?
I'm going to try to use persuasion on the crowd, to get them to leave this area. Like, they can protest what's going on later when they're still alive.
Give me a persuasion roll. I thought I heard Brick.
Yeah, I think he's a little confused on the turn order.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So did you have something you actually wanted to do to engage? Because I thought you were just observing.
I was observing.
Okay.
Did that take my turn away?
No, I'll let you do something because I was confused. That was my fault. What did you want to do? And then I'll come back.
I was gonna try and get those people that are passed out of the way.
Yeah.
All right. Give me. You'll have wheelers on your tail, but you can get people off of the scene with. Give me a brawn roll. All right, a 15. You're gonna get two of the three to safety on your turn, or as safe as they're going to be until they're inside and not dealing with the evil clowns outdoors. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And then I got a 22 on the persuasion for the rest of the crowd.
All right. Your 22 is very persuasive. Also, you are a giant yellow armored cat. And so people notice you and listen to you.
So we're actually in our...
Yeah, you're morphed, right?
Yeah, we're morphed. Yeah. I was still picturing just this guy in armor.
Oh.
No, I love the visual of it coming from a big robot cat.
You are a yellow cat as far as people are looking at a yellow cat and these weird creatures. So you snap people out of their reverie.
Nice.
And then that's going to go to Eddy. What would you like to do, Eddy?
So Brick is covering the ones that fainted, and Quentin is going after what again?
I was persuading the crowd to get out of there by snapping some of the people out of it that are stuck in terror or whatever. Try to help them move.
And so I'm gonna assist that action the best I can. Would be my general intention. If there
is one person still passed out, I don't know if you're strong enough to pick someone up.
Yeah, if there's a separate civilian and anything that's not really spoken for, then that's what I'll do. So it would be the passed out one.
There is one that Brick only got 2 of the 3. So if you wanted to get the other one,
I'll definitely go after that third passed out one. Go in and scoop them up. I have a pretty decent might score. Do you want me to roll?
I'm not going to have you roll for that.
Fair.
What is your willpower?
My willpower is 13. So when it comes to the heebie-jeebies, I'm kind of susceptible to the heebie-jeebies.
Okay, I got a 9 for the tall creep. They get up in your face, but because you are a ranger, you're not as afraid of them this time. You have something to do. You have someone to save, and so they try to immobilize you again, but you're focused on your task, and it just in your helmet really loudly. You hear the sound of an elephant, more or less. You hear the sound of something in your helmet that sounds like the trumpet of an elephant, and that is all that happens for the moment. Next will be Cecily.
Yes. What should I do at this point? Sometimes I just want to help people out. And
You have a poison stinger now, don't you?
I do have a poison stinger. I can go after him with my poison.
Do you want to see if that
No,
has
do I have
any
that at
effect
the
on
end
them?
of the episode, or is it now?
I will give it to you now.
Cool.
Great. Give me that stabby roll.
I got a 19.
You got a 19. You get a slash in. Poison damage is great if it works on things that can be poisoned.
Poison.
You do get a slash, but they kind of chuckle at you a little bit, and one of them just kind of starts to. They're not going to encircle you, but you are the one closest to you. You are in their sights now as you brandish your sword. And then Jane, it is your turn.
I'm going to run over to whichever one is closer to me, and I'm going to try to hit it with my grappler.
Okay. You don't actually have to run. You have 3 times the reach of anything, so you can do it from where you are.
This is
But you
true.
can run majestically if you want to. I'm not going to stop you.
My main goal is I really just kind of want to distract them from the other rangers that are trying to get people to safety. So I can stay where I am and just swing it. That's
That
fine.
is perfectly fine. Swing that grappler.
A 19.
A 19. Jane, you hear a T-Rex sound in your helmet as you swing. You find purchase. One of the tall creeps. They've gotten a little smaller. Like you're not afraid of them, so they're not getting bigger. They seem a little bit, but it doesn't seem like your grappler did much to them. And that T-Rex voice in your helmet was very loud. It was
My ears are ringing.
very
I'm
loud.
trying to like.
It didn't hurt your ears. It was very loud. But it did not make your ears ring.
It was just a
Communicate-
booming kind of voice.
Yeah, but just in your helmet, no one else heard it necessarily, or you don't know that no one else heard it.
Okay.
And we're back at the top of the round, and you hear in your helmet, you hear, "Aye, Rangers! Whatever they are, they're bad magic. Zordon, are they? Alpha's freaking out a little bit, and the words are he's starting to mumble and lose his words and go. Zordon goes, Alpha, grab hold of yourself. Rangers, we have found that these tall creeps, as they have been called, are made of darker magic than what you've yet faced. And though you may prevail, there may be more casualties than you wish. Have any of you had any distinct auditory noises happen for you over the course of the day?
I just heard like an elephant a moment ago. It was pretty convenient at the time, actually. It distracted me from the creepy leg wheel.
Yeah, I heard a T-Rex roar.
All right.
I heard a big cat.
So Zordon replies quickly. He goes, "That is both good and bad news, Rangers. In order to dispose of these creatures who are more vile than that we yet face, it is time for you to call upon the power of your Zord. These Zords are robot manifestations that will assist you in taking care of these creatures. They are large, and you will have to wield them, but you will know how to wield them, and you must call upon them for their worth at this time. And what I'm going to let you know is GM is they take 2 combat. They technically take 3, but because I didn't get to it when we did initiative the first time like I wanted to, I'm going to have them take 2. And so basically, you're going to call upon them, and then they'll take 2 turns to get to you. And so I would like all of you to call upon your Zord. Zordon goes on to tell you that you call upon these Zords in the same way that you manifest your power armor, and you already feel it in your heart. And so we're just going to go through what we have essentially for initiative order. So you can call upon your Zords, and that means Brick, even though you didn't necessarily hear the sound of a falcon, these things are creepy as heck. And anything you can do to get rid of them. Like, are you game to try it?
Yeah. Even though I didn't hear like a falcon caw in my ear, I trust Zordon. So I kind of scream out and I go,
All right, Zordon, you got it. Something like this, and I yell,
We need pink Falcon Zord power.
Great. These skies actually respond with pink lightning where there is this cloud hanging overhead and you don't see anything, but everyone hears the Falcon outside of their helmets this time. The Wheelers don't stop because they don't seem to care, but everyone hears that. Quentin, you're next.
All right. I'll look up at the sky and everything after what Brick shouted. I'll try to call my Zord as well. Yellow lightning robot kitty power, and hope it works.
Instead of hearing something, you get a sense of home. There's like a scent memory of like something that your parents made for you once that brought you so much joy, and there's this like a warmth, and for a second the clouds seem to stop, but they don't dissipate, but you have a sense of focus for whatever the task is at hand. Next, Eddy, it is your turn. You have heard the trumpet call of the Mastodon.
Okay. So, I call upon the Mastodon Zord power now.
Great. Where it was humid before, you cool down immensely, and it is quite a relief. Even inside your suit, the humidity kind of feels like it's seeped in between the cracks, but you feel cooler for an instant. It feels like relief. Cecily, go for it.
She's going to take a deep breath and kind of center herself before shouting into the mist. Blue unicorn, where are you at?
Yeah, there's like a melody that goes through your head. It's one of your favorite melodies, signaling that soon a friend, an ally will be there for you. And then I think that leaves Jane. You have heard the T-Rex.
Okay.
And now...
So Jane calls out red T-Rex power to me.
Great. I have actually unlocked the Zords in your character sheet that I was working on, so you can see what kind of power they are going to have. We're going to do one more round of combat without them, just to see what you do, but then they are going to come along. For your Zords, make sure that you go all the way down to weapons and look at what the perks are, because some of them have perks that didn't fit anywhere else. I will let you know that everyone will use their driving skill if they want to move on your personal sheet, but then any attack you want to make, you'll make with your Zord sheet while you're in your Zord. Brick, instead of driving, you will use acrobatic or flying because your Falcon does fly. It is not a penguin. Brick, the creeps are going to try deception against you. They're going to try to make you think that they're not bad guys. What is your cleverness, Brick?
12. Oh wait, I'm looking at my pink Falcon. It's probably the same, right?
Look at yours, because yours might be higher.
It's the social defense. It might be higher.
Social defense.
My cleverness is 12. Sorry, it's not 12. It's 15.
Yay, higher than 12. Ooh.
Oh, they got an 18. Well, I mean, they're creepy, but you can't really judge a book by its cover, right? You're going to spend, because this is about cleverness, you're not going to fight other rangers, but, you don't really feel inclined to try to, get rid of the bad guys. You could just, hang out there. They could be your buds. How do you respond to an attack of willpower or attack of cleverness? They just, they could be nice, just be a misunderstanding.
Maybe I feel a little confused, almost kind of like a sort of, how do I respond to this? It's an attack on my cleverness. Yeah, so it's social. So basically they've deceived you, and you could be buds with them. They've got long arms. They could play baseball. There's some good they could do in the community. They're not here to do evil stuff. Guys,
just a misunderstanding.
Guys, have we really thought? I mean, these guys are pretty strong. There's no way Rita made these things, right? They're probably just, I don't know, maybe they're lonely. We should be their friend. Am I trying to? Do you want to try to convince? You could do a persuasion roll, see if you can convince any of the other rangers. No, I don't want to do that. Can I maybe... I'm still on the ground, right? It takes our Zords like 3 turns, you said, to get here?
Yeah, it's going to take another turn. It's going to take another turn to get through, yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm probably like kind of stumbling around.
So let's look at, so baseball is kind of what you go to when you're confused. So you could try to convince them to join the Angel Grove Baseball Athletic League or something. Just like try to talk to them.
Hey, yeah, you guys look like you would be pretty good at baseball. Let's see if you can hit anything that I throw at you. So I'm gonna pick up something and throw it at them. In my mind, I'm thinking that I'm doing it in a nice way, but maybe I end up hitting them and it hurts them in some way.
He's playing catch with the Wheelers.
There we go. So give me that targeting.
23.
23. You
By
know
the
how
way,
you...
there's 2 of them, so I'm using my volley shot.
Hey, you know how you said
Throw 2
earlier
things.
you were thinking about hitting them between the eyes or in the face?
Mm-hmm.
So you do that. They don't stumble backwards. They seem annoyed and they kind of hiss at you. But you definitely hit them with something, and they weren't expecting that because they thought like they had used deception and you weren't going to do that. They were not prepared for it.
You guys are supposed to hit them. Oh, man. Or catch them or something. Maybe you wouldn't be so good on the baseball team after all.
All right, Quentin, Brick is disillusioned. What would you like to do?
I am going to go over to Brick and try to snap him out of it.
All right, a friendly snack, not trying to hurt Brick. I assume maybe. How hard would you like to snack a Brick? I guess is the question.
As hard as he deserves.
Actually, give me persuasion and see if you can beat. Her cleverness is 14. If you can get 14 or higher and beat the cleverness, you can break Brick out of the spell that was cast.
Okay.
We believe in you, Quentin.
How much higher do I have to get?
You have to
higher.
get 14 or higher.
19.
Boom.
All right.
19. What would you like to say to Brick?
Look, man, I can play catch with you later if you need that, but now's not the time. Snap out of it.
Snap out of it.
I'm gonna kind of shake him by his shoulders a little bit too if I need to.
You can shake him. Just shake him like he's the hysterical woman in Airplane if need be. But your 19 was successful, so you don't need to shake him that hard.
No lineup of people to slap.
Yeah, I don't have to go with
lineup
my
people.
sister, my mother, my sister, my mom.
Yes,
dog.
none of that.
Trying to remember what that line was from Chinatown.
So Quentin, you have done that successfully. The tall creeps really aren't paying that much attention to you, I guess, unless you want to yell at one of them. But you've already done.
Yeah, I just want to get Brick back
on.
on our side here.
So Eddy, it is your turn.
All right, so we got Brick Snapback. We've done the call to the wilds.
Yes.
There's nothing we have to do to really sustain that. It's just a travel time kind of thing, yeah?
It is a travel time thing.
All right. So did we successfully get the innocence out of the way of harm, or is there more civilians that I can work towards trying to assist?
You have just finished getting that last civilian.
All right. Then in that case, Jane made an attempt to attack one of the wheelers, right?
Yes.
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 Both Jane and Cecily.
And Cecily, I'm going to summon forth my axe and go after the wheeler that Jane struck or attempted to strike.
All right. Give me that axe roll.
22.
That is a 22. That is going to be higher than their toughness. You smack them. They hiss at you, and you are now full in their.
These guys are pretty big at this point, aren't they?
Yes, they're not shrinking so much, but they had enough like fear that like they're not satiated. But it's been a couple of good. It was a good feast for them. So like they've got some reserve. They are not happy with it as it is. So Cecily, it's your turn.
Well, what else can I do? Apparently, we know that the stabbing don't work, so maybe I'll just try to do a little flippity doo-dah and try to punch one of them in the face.
You can definitely try to punch one of them in the face, but give me a might roll. A 17. You punch one in the face, it topples a little bit, and you successfully avoid getting ensnared into a grapple with its long arm, thankfully.
Perfect.
And
I do want to note there was a flip.
There was. They
An
weebled, they
extraneous
wobbled, they did not fall down. Jane, it is your turn.
I'm gonna go low and try to maybe swipe under and kind of try to knock it over or make it topple.
Sure.
Health strategy.
18.
18. You meet that toughness so they don't go down, but you realize that their arm legs are very solid. They're kind of like bowling pins, where the top is actually lighter and the bottom is more solid. And you're a little surprised by that, actually, because it looks like they could be like balancing on a little unicycle or something. As they're just, they don't go down, but you learn some very valuable information. And as we head to the top of the round, Eddy, they are going to try to chuck you like they chucked bricks. So I am going to do a grapple against your toughness to see what happens.
Good old game of Ranger chucking.
Something like that. So that's a 19.
My toughness is 18.
Your toughness is 18, which means two of them actually surround you and they fling you. But unlike when Rick flew into the door of the loading dock, as you fly, you feel something black curl around you like a trunk, and you actually slide into a rampaging mastodon Zord as the Zords begin to show up. Eddy and Jane will get their Zords half a second before everyone else because they heard the call of their partner. That's just the way it works sometimes, luck-wise. But there's now so give you a sense of size. The mastodon is about as tall as the police station, which is like 3 stories, but it still fits on the street. Like, you're not going to do any damage as long as you're attempting to drive it well. There's now a giant black mastodon in the street.
Oh, he wants reactions. Oh, whoa!
I don't know if you would not react, but
I always feel so weird not like reacting when it's like not my turn. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
This is a moment when I'm encouraging cross table talk as Zords begin to come into the scene. So,
whoa! Check that thing out. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Brick, you hear a scream from the sky, and the largest falcon you've ever seen hovers coming down out of the clouds and breaking the dark cloud cover. It screams at you, but it's not an angry scream, it's a happy scream. And it wishes for you to jump up into it if you'd like to jump into...
Oh, I'm going to jump. Okay, so this is what I envision. Okay, ready? I want everyone to start painting with their minds. I imagine the clouds are sort of opening, and there's like a little bit of pink crackling and like a pink sort of halo effect, and this like falcon like dives through and it's like whoosh, and then it's like ah! And then I'm like, all right, this is awesome.
Give me so in order to drive this, I need you to give me an acrobatics, but I'll give you acrobatics with an edge because you are a natural athlete.
Yeah, so it's flying down, and I want to do one of those cool things. We've seen the original '95 Power Rangers movie, right? Uh-huh. So in that movie, when the Falcon Zord comes in, he does this sort of thing where he like jumps in the air and like flips several times in the air, and then like gets transferred into the cockpit of the Falcon Zord. So I kind of want to do that and just say something like, "This is the best thing I never knew I wanted," and I just jump up in the air with a nice yeah, and I do flips, and I hopefully go into the thing. So let's make sure that happens.
You're going to go into the thing. Your acrobatics with an edge is how many flips you get to do as you're in.
Oh, nice.
Because everyone else is using their drive, but in order to fly, you
13?
have to get acrobatics.
Is that 13 flips?
You do not get 13 flips. I will give you a like one of those rolling maneuvers, but 13 does not meet necessity for like double flips.
Hey, guess what? I have 10 story points, so we're gonna.
You only get to spend one a scene.
So
you can spend it to try to re-roll that if you'd like.
I want it to look cool.
It's a giant pink falcon in the sky. It already looks cool.
Yeah, but I want to look cool getting in it. Fine, I won't do it.
It probably
I'll just,
looks cooler in Brick's mind.
Yeah, okay. In my mind, I did like 12 flips, but anyone who like looked at me, I just looked like I kind of like turned around in the sky.
Turned around, bright eyes, but now you are in
Bright eyes.
you are in a pink falcon Zord. You are above the ground because you are flying. This is not a falcon that lands. So I cannot express to you that you are flying. So everyone else will do driving, but you will always do acrobatics for moving.
Am I in the air?
You are, well, your
Yes.
falcon Zord is in the air. So
Right, I'm flying in the air.
So,
Oh, right. This is awesome. It's just like my dreams.
which is just as it should be. And yes, it is quite a bit like your dream. Eddy, you were picked up by the mastodon, keeping you from flying into the edge of a building. So you can move, or you can attempt to lock onto one of your targets and try one of the features of your mastodon Zord.
Isn't it Quentin's turn?
It is it Quentin? Because it goes Brick. Oh, it is Quentin. Sorry, it is Quentin's turn. Eddy, hold that thought. Thank you for that. There's a lot of numbers to keep charge of here.
Oh, there's a bunch of buttons inside here. I'm just picking which one I'm going to press.
So, Quentin, something to note about the saber-toothed tiger Zord. As it lopes forward, counting down from the top of a building, it stands in front of you, unafraid of the wheelers or even not noticing them. Its mouth opens, so you can just walk inside, and you have what's called the crew compartment perk. So,
So when I get in, I see extra seats.
there
pretty
are
much.
extra seats. There are four four extra seats. There are 4 extra seats. So it's not like being in a minivan. It's still very cool, but you obviously can tell other people could fit in here.
Yeah. Have to figure that one out.
Can I really quickly? I kind of have this head. I don't know if you're planning something with this little cat that Quentin keeps running into, but I've obviously thought that it would probably be like sort of like a manifestation of his Zord. So in my head, I kind of like imagined this little yellow cat kind of like walking out of like the alleyway or something, and then like walking up to Quentin and then just transforming into a giant.
Oh, you have to be actual alley cat change into the Zord.
Right?
Well, it pounces down, and it's hard to tell at this moment, but potentially in future,
I just wanted to say that OOC.
We'll find out how correct you were. But Quentin, you are now safely ensconced in your saber-tooth tiger, which has more seating than just for one, and a variety of fun buttons. By the way, as you enter your Zords, you can now just hear each other, like you have like mics on. You don't have to like press a button in your helmet to try to talk to other people.
Hey guys, I got enough room for a party in here. I don't know if anybody else needs a better seat or how this works.
Only the people in their Zords currently can hear you say that. So that would be Eddy and Brick definitely heard that.
Right.
It's kind of like maybe it's kind of like the power blaster. Maybe these things might combine.
That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense. I mean, it's literally like there's multiple stations in here other than my own. So we should figure out how that works.
And you can figure out how that works at a later date. Eddy, you were saved by your Zords. You've had some time in there. Is there anything you'd like to try against one of the 3?
Once I get myself safely and comfortably ensconced inside my Zord for the day, thank you for that.
By the way, it does rumble slightly beneath your feet, so it kind of feels like you're in a tank, but there's better air conditioning. And there's not a snack bar, but there's like a cup holder.
So there's actual air conditioning?
Well,
not.
At some point, I'll get myself a Slurpee or something to fill the cup holder. But for right now,
your Zord knows you, so it knows you wanted a cup holder, and so a cup holder it has.
I keep seeing this big button just says freezing trunk mist, and I press it.
Great. Give me that targeting roll and see what happens.
I forgot to aim first.
Yeah, you end up with that 5. You do the freezing trunkness, but unfortunately you were pointed at the side of the police station, and so you've frozen the side of the brick exposure of the police station. As a bonus, though, with that 5, I will give you the hilarious scenario of any graffiti that was on the side of the police station got frozen off, and it's nice and glittery like it's Christmas time. So it works. The button works.
So that's what that one does.
That's what this button does.
Eddy, maybe be careful about those buttons.
So Cecily,
What?
do you remember?
Right
Do you remember that dream that you had at the beginning, before we became a ranger, with the knights? That was like evil and was like a minotaur thing, right? Yeah. This is the opposite of that. Coming rolling down the street is the most elegant blue unicorn that you've ever seen. It's not quite galloping because it is mechanical, but it has some wonderful little accoutrement accents. It's everything a blue unicorn ranger could possibly want, and you could swear that as it comes to a stop in front of you, crashing into one of the wheelers, by the way, as it does so, it head so you can run up its mane and slide into your Zord.
Oh my gosh.
That is majestic right there.
So majestic. I'm like, I feel the connection already.
Yes, and as you get inside feeling the connection, you notice that you have more. You heard the word buttons, but you weren't envisioning buttons. Yours has more of a feel of someone that something drives. So there's more wheels, there's more levers. It's more Doctor Who than what other people have.
Oh, cool.
You got more of like a steampunk vibe going on.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, but all in blue. You're all in theme. And then Jane, you don't see the Tyrannosaurus right away. You're kind of looking around for it, but you don't see it. And you're like, where's it? And then behind you, a wall of fire parts as it comes out of this like interdimensional volcano pocket that it lives in. Like there's that scene from The Incredibles where it's like that wall of lava they have to walk through, and you get like a corridor of lava with the Tyrannosaurus gazing at you expectantly, and it expects you to jump up onto its head and travel down into the mouth of the Tyrannosaurus where the cockpit is.
I do that immediately.
You do that immediately. Yours is the most race car-like. The cockpit is kind of Spartan and bare, but you don't need a lot in here. You just need to be able to do the damage that you need to do. And so the wheelers, who don't really fear anything, are going to try. They are going to attempt to intimidate Cecily. They didn't like how elegant that was. They're going to attempt to intimidate. They're kind of grouping around in anger. That 17 is not going to be high enough because it's much harder to intimidate a Zord that is aligned well with you. Brick, you are in this Pink Falcon. There's lots of things going on. What does the inside of the Pink Falcon Zord look like? And what would you like to do?
Like how you told everyone else what the inside of their cockpits look like, and I get to kind of.
I didn't tell everyone. It's more like I didn't just want to assume baseball theme. Like I didn't want to make everything baseball themed. And I thought maybe like you'd want more of an Air Force thing, or if you want something in particular. I'm still leaving it up to imagination.
It definitely feels like a plane. So it's got one of those like steering wheels that's not really a steering wheel. It's like the U-shaped thing, you know?
Yeah.
Or I lied. It's like a joystick.
A joystick, yeah.
Got a joystick. You have like a Jedi type
like
thing
a jet
going on
plane
there.
style
you have like
thing.
the thing that comes down over your eyeball that gives you like a targeting, because it's a very targeting heavy vehicle because it's you.
I'm just thinking Top Gun myself.
Right.
I feel like maybe like an overlay on my helmet happens where like in my visor there's like a little square over one of my eyes that kind of like zooms in. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a magnified sort of visor thing that has like a little, I don't know. But I also imagine a bunch of like some switches and knobs and buttons that are blinking everywhere.
There is an option for with your attacks. If you wish to, for wing bash or lightning cannon, like there's a thing that aligns with your power armor glove, so it can feel like you're like physically manifesting it if you so wish.
Oh, well, that's cool. Yeah, so I'm kind of maybe the cleverness, maybe getting snapped out of that cleverness is still kind of happening. And I'm still kind of like slap happy a little bit. So I'm kind of flying around and doing like little loop-de-loops and stuff. In doing so, I go, all right, let's try some target practice. And I'm assuming my joystick has like a little trigger on the top.
It
like those
does
old
if
sort
you
of like
want it to have.
it. Yeah, well, it does in my mind. So I think it has a little trigger.
Yep.
And I'm going to be like, let's see what this button does. And I press the little trigger button and maybe it shoots some like pink energy balls that maybe look vaguely like baseballs.
Like they're coming out of a pitch machine.
Yeah. Ooh, that's really good. Like a pitching machine. That's awesome.
Give me that targeting. Give me that targeting roll with your pink falcon, Zord, as you hear a pleasant voice over the comm go, targeting initiate.
And I'm doing the targeting on my Zord, correct? Not
Yes. But once you're in your Zord, use your Zord.
Okay, story point.
Have you used a story point this scene?
No, I have not.
Then you can use a story point. Please do.
So how are we going to do like a baseball shot to kind of like a bat, kind of like combo attack between the Zords now? I really want to.
I'm assuming I could probably shoot like my energy baseballs at you, and you can use your trunk to kind of like as like a bat.
I'm all for that.
Stuff.
But you can always try. But will it succeed? That's a whole nother question.
Maybe next turn.
Let's
try that next.
Try that.
Next turn. Let's go 17. Okay.
That is a 17. Jane, you see this because the Tyrannosaurus is rather tall. You don't see the falcon, but you see pink lightning baseball energy things just come down and clobber one of the wheelers, and it explodes into like weird black goo.
I think that's technically a foul, isn't it?
Woohoo! All right.
Nice shot.
Wow.
Oh, fabulous. Quentin, it is your turn.
All right.
I call a home run.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to line up to do a laser tail shot at one of these things.
Okay, so give me an animal handling. Let's see.
Animal handling, like
Yes,
as in me myself.
Well, no, you have an animal handling on the Zord Chief or the Saber Chief.
Okay.
So we'll see how well this lines up before you do it.
Okay.
I know it's a weird thing to say, but they are technically
Right.
manifestations of animals.
Oh, come on! I feel like I should spend a story.
Didn't you use it?
Let's go. technically
I
in the
did with
same-
my initiative.
Yeah, that's the same scene. So.
Then crap.
What I will say is that maneuverability in this, you know it fairly well, but it's kind of like you're a little rusty at it. It's
Mhm.
something you're trying to remember. You actually overcorrect a little bit, like you're not being sensitive enough
Yeah.
to the controls. Like there's one of those little bubble leveling things that tells you how level you are with the field, and it's like on the left a little too much.
Nice. I kind of picture the controls that Quentin has in this thing is similar to like keys on a keyboard kind of
Yeah.
setup, except it's like a double tiered keyboard, and he's sitting there looking at it, going like, "Okay, I feel like I should know how this works. What does this one do?" And he
Ooh,
just
you know-
is sitting there like, "Nope, nope, nope."
I kind of like that. And
Yeah.
then like you don't know what it's doing, and so the Zord tries to help you out, and like all the controls
Right,
kind
yeah.
of like go in and then come back out, and it's like a gamer keyboard or something.
Right? Yeah.
But
And I
it-
kind of
yeah.
picture the other stations, the other little crew compartments. The controls are designed like they are in the other Zords too. So there's one with a bunch of levers and everything, and then one that's got the joystick and all that. So,
I will say with your
Kinda how I
5, you
picture
did
it.
figure out that one of the buttons does make a coffee maker work for some reason, but you have a helmet on, so you can't actually have coffee at the moment.
right, like I accidentally hit
Um,
the button. I just
but
hear
there
something
is
brewing in the
A
background.
coffee
I'm like,
maker.
what is?
which will be your turn as you
All right.
tried to make coffee. Eddy, it is your turn.
All right.
Hit the B flat key to do the laser tail. Got it.
So this time I'm going to find that you mentioned that rumbling kind of like a tank. So in my mind, it's basically got like tank controls with kind of left and right for the stompy of the feet. So I'm going to orientate the Mastodon to face the Wheelers this time. Learn my lesson. Don't face the police building. I'm going to face the Wheelers. And then I'm going to press that button again.
Give me a driving to see how well you face the Wheelers.
And that would be a driving on the Mastodon sheet?
Yes, you have a driving skill on there, which you can enhance when you enhance your driving skill on your character sheet when you are able to do that, because it's based on that. But for right now, let's go with what you got.
Ooh, I got a very lucky 22.
That critical success means I will let you do the targeting to see if you hit them with the freezing from mist.
All right, and I will give that another go. Hit this button. That sadly was only a 7.
It is a 7. You freeze a light pole. You just pulled too hard on one of the things, and it went kind of above their head. You haven't done damage, but whoever has to fix Angel Grove's electricity grid is going to think it's very weird that part of the light pole was frozen on a humid day.
A lot of moisture in the air.
Lot of moisture in the air. It's true. Cecily, you're in a unicorn. This is everyone's fantasy. You got steampunk controls. What do you want to do?
Oh my gosh, I want to try and stomp. Stomp, like run at and stomp. That seems right.
Run,
charge,
and stomp. I want
charge
you
at him.
Okay, so here's what you can do. You can use, you have a horn attack, you have chains that you can restrain them with, you have a main cannon, so you can do a driving to just charge them.
Ooh, that
won't do any damage.
Okay, let's do the main cannon where I'm charging at him.
Okay.
Does the cannon blast come from the unicorn?
Oh my god.
It really does. Yeah.
Let's blast him. That's like the most magical thing we can come up with.
Yeah, give me that targeting to see how well you blast them.
I got a 12.
You got a 12. You managed to hit between two of them. You realize that you are bigger than them now as opposed to being smaller. Precision is a little hard, and unfortunately you are galloping now in the wrong direction. So it's not the best, but you're making it work. And you're looking really cool while doing so, and you learn something
best
about
rangers
yourself.
ever.
Yeah, we're learning on the job, you know?
Learning on the job. Jane, speaking of learning on the job, you are a giant Tyrannosaurus made of fire.
Tyrannosaurus made of fire. Okay.
It was really
I'm a giant Tyrannosaurus made of fire. I love that quote.
it was really just the entrance, but like it's going to be in your mind for a very long time.
Yeah. I want to use my volcano stare and burn one of them.
All right, give me that volcano stare, which is otherwise called laser eyes, but it's much cooler to call it volcano stare because it comes out as red lasers anyway.
24.
24.
Yeah.
You were staring. They stared at Brick and made Brick very unsettled. And like, that's a fellow ranger. That's a friend. And using the power of friendship from earlier that you made into paintings, you laser blast 2 of the Wheelers into dust. There are 2 left. They are just now trying to. So it's not teleportation in this game. It's called grid blink. And so they are trying to teleport away, but you are in bigger machines. So you could catch them if you so wish. Grid blink is their movement. There are grid powers that are like grid blink. So one of you may be able to do that someday. But today's not that day. Today you got your Zords. Brick, they're trying to get away.
Yeah, Falcon Sword's not going to let that happen.
Yeah.
I'm just like zooming around. I look at everyone kind of like stumbling in their Zords, and I'm like, guys, this is just like GTA.
Great, give me an acrobatics check.
So I'm acrobaticsing.
Acrobaticsing to see how well you show off for your fellow rangers in your blink up sword.
Ask why my driving has a D2 next to it.
because it's based on your driving in real life, and you can enhance that. But some of the stats come predetermined by them. But acrobatics is the one that for flying that you do. So I promise there's a reason. There's a reason for the season.
16.
So you get like 3 loop-de-loops in, which is super cool. Would you like to loop down to try to stop?
I would like to like land either like on top of it or like right in front of it, and then like do a little wing bat thing.
Great, give me that wing bash, which is a might, which I have affectionately dubbed coming in for a landing. That is not in the book. I just added that because I thought it was fun. So please give me that might roll.
Wow.
That is a 22 in retribution for messing with your head. And also throwing you at a loading dock wall earlier, which, more to your pride than to your physical being. That 22 is enough. You wing bashed both wheelers into the ground, but now the Pink Falcon Zord will need a wash because it has black goo on one of its things.
Sorry, Falky. I'll get you all cleaned up when we get back to Zordon.
That being said, you have successfully vanquished your foes. There is no longer a need for a Zord, and they kind of start to slow, and one by one, you notice they are slowing so you can exit the Zord vehicle. You can choose where you want to teleport to, or you can just leave the vehicle, but you kind of feel that they're not just going to stick around just because.
I don't ever want to leave my T-Rex.
Yeah, I'm coming back for this cup holder, though. I'm going to exit out the top and hop off the side and give it like one of the big legs, kind of like a pat, and it does its thing.
I'm gonna like crawl on the back of mine and slide down.
I wish my unicorn had a mane so I could braid it and put flowers in her hair.
So Alpha, I love the Zords, but I have some notes.
Right.
Alpha replies, Zords, you got your Zordon, they got their... And Zordon goes, yes, Alpha, you were a little preoccupied with stopping the fire at the terminal, but yes, they have called upon the power of the Zords. Congratulations, Rangers. It is both a blessing and a sad time that you must now have access to your Zords, but they are based upon your desires and inner workings, and as you use them more, you will be able to control them further, and you'll be able to refine both their power and your own. As villainy and evil dies down, they will begin to slow and ask you to exit the vehicle until they are needed again. For the power of the Morphin grid, they require a great amount of it, so they cannot stick around indefinitely.
Sounds fair. Sounds good.
I do a little like pose thing, and like it's like an elevator, the cockpit, so like the elevator like drops down, and all of a sudden I'm outside of the Zord, but I notice when I look up that I'm outside of like the back of it, like it like pooped me out, and I'm like, oh, like that could have been designed a little better.
Not as graceful as I thought that was going to be.
And so that will end kind of the branch portion of the adventure. Does anyone want to attempt anything to save Alex? Alex will be saved at the end of the episode, but does anyone want to do anything, demorph and try to assist in Alex's innocence or anything of that nature?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, so we demorph, and I'm going to say something like, wow, that was crazy. We got to talk about that later. But first, we should probably clear Alex's name. So
I'm going to name mine Brent. Seems like a Brent.
I'd like to do that. Brent?
Okay, so there was a kerfluffle at the police station because there were evil tall creeps. Everyone was very unsettled, but much like Angel Grove, things are trying to get back to normal. I'm not going to have anyone roll. You have a piece of evidence there, and also as you vanquish the tall creep, any remaining graffiti that was magically put there by Babu and Squat, which are the names of the villainous people from earlier, to disappear, and so they really have anything to hold Alex on. The only problem will be is that this does put a little bit of a dent in his career, but it doesn't dull his shine, as this isn't the first time something like this has happened in Angel Grove. It probably won't be the last, but you are successful, and the humidity takes a while to break, but it does break, and eventually you do stop sweating.
Nice.
Eventually. Not right away. It takes a while for the humidity to dissipate. You also have amazing gifts from Jane, some collectible stickers from Alex, and because you've been such good sports tonight with the Wheelers from Return to Oz, I will let you know that the next episode is going to be Angel Grove's half Halloween party. So any Halloween energy you possess, bring it next episode to the ball, as the children say. Does anyone have any questions? Or once you sign
Do we have
off,
to come up with costumes? Are we coming up with costume ideas?
I mean, I think you should, and you can discuss that in the next episode, or you can discuss that before the episode, but you can choose to do individual or group costumes. You're all going to the same place.
I've got so many ideas.
That's good. So many ideas.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye.
Yay.